Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do miss something, get caught up. All 3 hours going to be posted both to iTunes and in our own audio vault upon the conclusion of the program. You can always email the show if you like, jcs at 979espnradio.com. On Twitter, it's at jcameron.show. WTSM app, good for mobile devices, I might add. Any mobile device. Get you that free WTSM app. It's a good one. Because also the audio that you're looking for from previous shows is on that app as well. If you want to Periscope the program or YouTube it, two ways. To Periscope, you go to Twitter and follow at 979 ESPN Radio, and you can Periscope the program. If you want to watch us on YouTube, just go to YouTube and type in ESPN Tallahassee. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you are well today. Well, right before we came on, or just before, about an hour before, I guess, word was beginning to trickle in that the NFL would do as I first predicted they would last week at this time, ironically. Wasn't it last Thursday, 1 week ago, that I first talked about this?
It may have been Wednesday, but
that I originally talked about it.
At any rate, Schefter had picked it up by last Thursday, saying that 3 games was, in fact, accurate. Yes.
Yeah. Well, at the time, we had said the camp was bracing for a suspension and to be levied by the league, and that the suspension would be up to 3 games max. And then from that time forward, there were a lot of, I don't know about differing reports, but a lot of people picked up that story, and then there was debate about why that would be and all of these things. It looks like we're getting a little bit clearer picture. Statements from the NFL now, statement from Jameis Winston, and a statement from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is something that I'll read to you straightforward and just give you what has been stated, and then we can kind of expound upon that further. I have a feeling there will be more. Just because there are a couple things still unclear here, and primarily, I think from Jameis' side, he's going to have to explain more than what he did in that statement, is the feeling I get. Again, I'm reading this almost in real time, so we are just coming on the air as this is coming in, and so I want to be careful as I digest all this and make sure we get it right. Whether that's bad for Winston, good for Winston, bad for the league, good for the league, or not, I don't really care. I just want to get it right. So let's read through these and begin to parse the statements and figure out what we think. And anything we say from beyond the statement is going to be speculation on what we think will happen. I've reached out to various sources. I'm curious if the Bucs will have anything more to say as well. I know you've got your sources too, so we're all kind of trying to figure out the next direction, the next turn that this is going to take. But let's just start right from the beginning with the league and the league's official release, with the announcement that Jameis Winston has been suspended for the first 3 regular season games for a violation of the NFL personal conduct policy. Jameis Winston of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was notified today by the NFL Special Counsel for Conduct, Todd Jones, that he has been suspended without pay for the Buccaneers' first 3 regular season games for a violation of the NFL's personal conduct policy. In November 2017, the NFL learned of an incident involving Winston and a shared ride service driver that had taken place in March 2016 in Scottsdale, Arizona. The incident, which had been immediately reported by the driver to her employer, and which resulted in Winston's removal from the ride-sharing platform, was also publicly reported last November. The league promptly initiated a comprehensive investigation that included interviews with several persons, including the driver, Winston, and others with relevant information. The league also examined extensive amounts of other evidence, including telephone records, business records, data from electronic devices, and other communications. Based on the investigation, the NFL found that Winston had violated the NFL Personal Code of Conduct policy, which allows for discipline to be imposed even when criminal charges are not presented. In his letter advising Winston of the suspension, Jones stated after full consideration of the record, including a meeting with Winston and his representatives and a written submission by his attorneys, that the driver's account of the incident was consistent and credible. As a result, the investigation concluded that Winston violated the personal conduct policy by touching the driver in an inappropriate and sexual manner without her consent, and that disciplinary action was necessary and appropriate. As part of the discipline, Winston is also required to obtain a clinical evaluation and fully cooperate in any recommended program of the therapeutic intervention. A failure either to obtain the evaluation or to cooperate with treatment will result in further discipline. In addition, a future violation of the personal conduct policy will result in more substantial discipline, including a potential ban from the National Football League. Winston has advised the league office that he accepts the discipline. His suspension, therefore, will take effect as of the final roster reduction on September the 1st, and he will be eligible to return on September the 25th following the Buccaneers game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Winston may participate in all of his club's preseason activities, including games. That's the statement from the National Football League, read it verbatim. So obviously, on the surface, that is a damning statement from the National Football League that leads to a 3-game suspension for Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's statement, at least the one we have so far, I don't know if there's more forthcoming, and forgive me as I do this because different information is coming forth as I talk to you, so it's going to be interesting. We'll probably be getting texts throughout the day. I feel like I'm not by
Hope
any
you charged
means.
your phone.
Yeah, I'm almost like I feel like Adam Schefter here, even though because he's frequently seen on the desk with his phone. I hate doing that, and you guys are listening on the radio and or the computer. You can't see me do it, so if you hear a pause like that, I'm just checking to make sure that I'm not getting more information as I'm trying to give the old information. Here's Jameis Winston's statement. The NFL informed me today that I will be suspended for the first 3 games of the season. First and foremost, I'd like to say I'm sorry to the Uber driver for the position I put you in. It is uncharacteristic of me, and I genuinely apologize. In the past 2.5 years, my life has been filled with experiences, opportunities, and events that have helped me grow, mature, and learn, including the fact that I have eliminated alcohol from my life. I know I have to hold myself to a higher standard on and off the field, and that I have responsibility to my family, community, and teammates to live above the platform with which God has blessed me. I apologize to my teammates, the Buccaneers organization, and fans for letting them down and for not being able to be out there for the first 3 games of the season. Although I am disappointed in the NFL's decision, I understand the NFL's process, and I embrace this as an opportunity to take advantage of the resources available to me to achieve the goals that I have for myself. I now look forward to putting this behind me, and I will continue to work hard every day to be a positive influence in my community and to be the best person, teammate, and leader that I can be. Now, the Bucs organization didn't have much to say, but this is what they released. All members of our organization are expected to conduct themselves in accordance with the personal conduct policy of the National Football League. We are disappointed that Jameis put himself in a position that has been found to have violated the policy and accept today's decision by the commissioner, which on the surface reads as if the organization is supporting Jameis Winston. That's the way I read that. I don't know if that's the way you read that. It certainly sounds that way.
It does sound that way. There's a lot of extra words in there
that are unnecessary.
If you agree with the commissioner's decision and the NFL's conclusions. That's where this goes now. Because Winston's statement on its face makes no sense if he is apologizing for touching the driver inappropriately. Why would you ever follow up an apology and an admission that you actually did what the driver is alleging you did with, I'm disappointed by the league's decision? You would never do that. That makes absolutely no sense. So I think what's happening here is this appears, as you read those back to back to back, you have the NFL's findings, and they say, we've done extensive research.
This is what we found.
This is what we found. This is what we examined.
We believe the driver was credible.
Yes.
See, this gets very interesting. It's still murky to me. It's a little clearer, obviously, than it was. I want to know more. I think he's going to have to talk more. We got that email. It was yesterday, the day before. I do. He's going to have to sit down and answer because this reads a little bit like he's admitting that he was drunk and unruly, but not that he touched her. It's that he made her uncomfortable.
Correct.
That's the way it reads. But it also reads like, and the league, this we do know, this was negotiated. the league and Winston's camp have come to this conclusion together, this agreement of the 3 games.
Correct. This is
what was the statement released that
it was? I think it was Tom Pelissero on Twitter who said that the 3 games was agreed to, and Winston will not appeal because the 2 sides agreed to
negotiated
3 games.
the deal.
Right. So it's almost
all of this interesting.
Well, it's an appeal before an appeal, essentially, is what
yes,
it is.
It is.
And so this is something that we hit on last week. In fact, I was saying you would shout from the rooftops if you are Winston's camp that we are not appealing because we arrived to an agreement of 3 games mutually. But I'm telling you, whoever's advising him today, this does not jive well, because what that looks like, if you, as you presented them, statement, back to back, it looks like a tone-deaf admission of guilt. That's the way it's presented.
Yeah.
And I don't know that that's what he means.
Right.
But that's the way it reads is, well, sorry about that. I groped you. No, that if that's in fact what he's saying, then that's the dumbest statement of all time. But I gather that's not what he's saying, because the Buccaneers statement is also
backing him to some degree and also overly vague. I think there will be more statements forthcoming. I think they're going to happen as we're on the show. I also think, because it is abundantly clear, that none of this, if you're looking at it from the Buccaneers organization or if you're looking at it from the Winston Camp's side of things, looks good. None of it. It all looks really bad, and if he's guilty of it, as we've said numerous times over and over again, if he's guilty of it, well, screw him. But I have a sense that they're going to argue he didn't do that, but they came to an agreement with the NFL, and he's not either allowed to expound on it, talk about it more, just accept the suspension and move on, get the counseling, whatever it is. But I don't know that, so we'll wait. We'll wait and see.
Well, I mean, really, understand what the NFL is saying here. I mean, just the NFL statement itself.
They're saying they looked into it after they learned of the issue, and they believed her to be credible. That's what they're saying.
Her story is credible and consistent. So what they're telling you is they've come to the conclusion, short of showing you the actual documents themselves, which they may on Outside the Lines or Real Sports or whatever. They may. But they're telling you that he was the only one in the car, because that's her story. Her story is he was the only one in the car. His initial statement was categorically denying this whole thing, saying that she mistakenly...
Well, if that's the case, then we're going to learn of a suspension for Ronald Darby. We're going to learn of a lot of other things. I don't know that that's what they're saying, Tom. They're saying that she's not crazy, that she's not making it up. They're saying we found her to be a credible human being. The reason I bring that up in terms is that if you recall, the lead investigator in the Zeke Elliott case basically came back and revealed... And this woman did the investigation for the NFL, just as Tom Jones is doing the investigation for the NFL here.
It's Todd, yeah.
Or Todd Jones. Sorry, I said Tom. So she came back and kind of concluded that, in essence, Zeke's accuser had some inconsistency and wasn't credible or what. Clearly, she advised the league that they probably don't need to pursue further suspension. Remember that? And then the league said, well, that's great, but we're going to. And they did it, and then she left the NFL. So... I don't know. This is different than that, in that Todd feels like she was credible.
Yes.
Unlike the situation with the woman that...
Agreed. He's saying that the story is consistent and credible, which again to me says that her claim is that James was the only one in the car. So that this is a point-blank question that's going to be asked to all parties.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's the number one question that's going to be asked, first of all, is at any time were you alone with the driver?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're going.
Yeah, no, and he'll have to answer to that.
Also,
I'm interested to hear what that answer is.
Also, understand that the NFL says he needs a full clinical evaluation.
Yeah, and I think that's standard. I think you would do that. You do that with, especially if you think somebody is, well, if you think somebody's a predator, you certainly do it. Then you maybe even kick him out of the league, first of all. But secondly, especially because you can willy-nilly do whatever you want. But secondly, they do that in any case in which alcohol is involved.
Mm-hmm.
So if they believe that there's a drug or alcohol problem, you're always going to get a psych eval. That's pretty standard. And so he's going to have to do that. And that would be something, as a guy who says in his statement that he's given up alcohol for the last 2.5 years, basically since this incident, that he would probably be eager to do and should want to do.
Reading between the lines here, again, the NFL is claiming that she is credible, that the story holds water in terms of who was in the car and when, and who was not in the car.
I wonder if he's legally going to be able to say to this question, did you grope her or not? Yes or no? Did you or not? You think he's ever going to answer that?
On the record, I'm not sure he can. I don't know what the nature of the agreement is with the NFL.
I'm waiting for all of this to come out because I think this could be cut and dry. I mean, I think at the end of the day, if he wants to clarify all of this, it would simply be he's going to answer that question. If he wants to sit down with Tom Rinaldi or whomever he wants to sit down with, he's got to arrange an interview because people are going to want to know. People understand the nature of these kinds of agreements, can read a certain way, but not always mean what they seem to mean or read as. And so they're going to say, wait a minute now, can we get some clarification here? All right, the league thinks she's credible. You're saying you've changed your life and all that. Is that an admission of guilt to what happened there? Or is that you just saying, well, look, I was acting like a you-know-what, and I've decided that I'll just take my suspension for having put her in an uncomfortable position, and I don't, I'm a changed man, so I'm going to move forward with my life and get this behind me because it happened 2016, and I'm a different person now. I mean, I don't. He's going to have to answer some direct questions on this.
Yeah, because he stopped short of admitting that he did it.
Right.
Yeah, it's just difficult because the league's going to have to show more. The statement says, generally speaking, here's what we considered, and here's what we found.
Always remember this. And I can take it both ways. I can paint a picture, we both can, that is incredibly damning for Jameis Winston. That would cause you to say the league and the organization needs to wash their hands of this and move on and cut him. I could paint that picture very easily. I could also, if I decided to staunchly defend the other way, say, well, the league has to have something that they present to justify a 3-game suspension. So they're not going to present to you, in a statement anyhow, evidence to the contrary of the investigation that would lead to a suspension.
Yeah.
So knowing that, I want to hear more. I want to hear from both parties. I want to see what the NFL found, what the evidence was. Is there video? Mm-hmm. We could end all this if there's video. I doubt there is, but if there is, do we have it?
There could be text data
right,
or whatever.
Right, yeah. Is there a text of him saying to Darby or anybody else, or is there a conversation between her and him? I mean, what do they got? What's concrete here and what isn't?
Yeah, 100%. Because if you just read his statement by itself, it looks like he's stopping short of saying, I did what you're accusing me of, but I also may be guilty of putting you in an uncomfortable position.
Well, that's what he's admitting to without admitting to the groping. He's saying, I put you in a position. I'm sorry for the position I put you in, is the quote. I'm looking at the exact quote.
Right.
I'm sorry for the position I put you in.
You would never say that if you are.
Well, no.
If you're admitting to groping somebody.
Right. That's what I mean. So which is it?
Right. It's an interesting nuance here.
Admitting to putting a driver in an uncomfortable position is in line with what he said when he categorically denied groping her. He admitted that he put her in a bad position in that statement.
Right.
I'm paraphrasing, but he did.
And this is, to be clear, at least from where I'm coming from, I'm speaking for myself only, my opinion on the matter is evolving as more information comes to light here.
I think it is for everybody.
But I think the NFL's statement is shifting my stance on this. But where I'm coming from between these two statements is Jameis' statement doesn't make sense unless he is disputing the conclusions the league has come to fundamentally about what did or did not happen.
Right, and I think, Tom.
Can they fight that publicly because they've come to an agreement over 3 games here?
Well, that's the question I'm asking. Is this something that can play out in the public sector where we'll hear from both sides and he'll talk openly about why he feels he needed to apologize in the position that he put the Uber driver in and what he did or didn't do, what the league has asked of him in accepting this suspension?
Yeah.
Will it be a case where his camp basically states that we're not allowed to expound on this matter? The suspension was originally 8 games. We accepted 3 after negotiation. Is it a situation where the league can say, well, you'll say nothing and wear this suspension, and you're lucky this is all you're getting because, bam, we got you dead to rights, and, oh, by the way, we're going to find that out?
Right.
I mean, I think that's what we would like to know.
Exactly. I think it's all about context here.
I would say this. I would feel, well, we'll go through today because there's just going to be a lot of stuff that comes out. It's always hard when we're going on live to react in real time.
You're trying not to be clumsy and say and saying a definitive statement one way or the other.
I'm trying to be fair to both parties. I don't know, and that's something we learned last time we were.
But
doing
the
stuff
NFL
like
is what the NFL is claiming is we have enough evidence to believe that she's not lying. That's
right. That's
this
what they're
precisely happened to her. Exactly what that he touched her in an inappropriate sexual manner. Yes, they're saying we believe that she was touched. She was groped. Yes, and James did it. We believe he was the only one in the car. We believe her story.
So do you know what I think is interesting too is that oddly, and that's always inappropriate.
And they're saying we have enough facts to back it up.
Right, and if they do, then we should probably get those, right?
Yes.
And I also think, and that's always inappropriate. You can never touch somebody who isn't wanting to be touched in that manner, whatever it is. What I'd like to know is the whatever it is. He put his arm around her?
No, they said sexually. I mean,
did he give her a kiss on the cheek?
I don't know, man.
Did he hug her?
I don't know.
Did he touch her breast? These are going to be things that are damning no matter what, but there is a difference.
No, there's a difference, but they're saying that what she alleged is what happened because they're saying her story is consistent and credible.
They believe she's credible.
They believe her story is consistent and credible is their statement, right?
Right. Well, she stuck by her original story, and they believe she's credible.
So they believe whatever she said happened is what they're saying.
They're saying she didn't make it up, that she was touched inappropriately.
I don't think they're allowing for a possibility of any other type here. They wouldn't say that her story is consistent and credible, that they believed it to be. Why would they allow themselves more wiggle room? I think they're definitively saying that her account is true.
What I would say is that if that's true, if they think that 100% he did something nefarious, something above and beyond what we're talking about here, which is a drunken handsy hug somebody thing, right, against their will. If they had him grabbing private parts like a predator, don't you think he'd get a hell of a lot more than 3 games?
I would have thought Zeke would have gotten 0. I don't know if the NFL is consistent on.
I would have thought he'd be in jail.
I hear you.
I mean, that's why I say every time we get right up to that point, you go, well, let's see what else comes out here. It could be worse for him. By the way, it could be worse. There could be worse coming for him. I'm allowing for that too. I'm just saying, as we do this show, let's wait and find out, because if you can remove the darkness of the subject matter, it makes everybody uncomfortable. It's terrible. And just look at it from, let's say, a football. I know that's callous, but just look at it from a football standpoint. The Bucs, if they think he's guilty of this, have a hell of a decision to make. And, in fact, if they think he's guilty of it, they may just need to cut him.
Well, they also need to figure out whether or not he lied to him.
That's what I mean. They got to figure all this out.
I mean, I'm not even talking about to the end, to the conclusion. I'm talking about in general. What did he say to them behind closed doors to reassure them? Because he categorically denied that this happened. That was his statement the moment the BuzzFeed report came out. Categorically denied, called into question the driver's recollection of how many people were in the car and who was sitting where. These are his words. So, and if the NFL can prove he's the only one in the car and he sat in the front seat.
Oh, you got a problem, yeah.
Then what? Yes, you do.
But then I
can't believe another word he says after that.
Well, I agree with you, but what I would argue with you is that if that's true, why isn't that suspension longer? They gave Zeke 6 games.
Maybe because they didn't want it to be dragged through the proceedings for another year.
Well, it's a separate issue altogether, but the league has really got to have to figure out what the hell they're doing with their discipline policy so that you don't have some willy-nilly.
Unless the commissioner says that the investigator may have found the story to be credible, and I'm not so sure. Because the previous investigator said there's nothing here, and he said 6 games. How about that? And in this case, the investigator, Todd Jones, says that
sordid details of the Zeke Elliott case, but it felt like there were 5 accusations of domestic violence in the Zeke Elliott case, if I recall that correctly.
Whether or not there were, the investigator comes to a conclusion. I'm just saying there is no playbook here for the NFL. No pun intended.
They don't seem to have precedent. They don't have a really.
You have an investigator saying you can't do anything, and he says, "The hell I can't." Here's 6, and then in this case, you have an investigator saying, "I believe her." this happened,
there's only
he
3.
did it. And they
It would be reversed in my
right.
mind.
They negotiated it down to 3.
But it would be completely reversed in my mind if those were the factors.
Well, it's also important that they put out there that he could be banned from the NFL, that he needs to be subjected to a clinical evaluation, because that's a heavy-handed 3. So they're conceding something, but they're saying, yeah, but you know what else is going to be in the statement? Strong language that we demand that you follow every one of our procedures.
Yeah, he's required to obtain a clinical evaluation and fully cooperate in any recommended program of the therapeutic intervention. And if he fails to do that, if he doesn't get the evaluation or if he doesn't cooperate with the treatment, it will result in further discipline. And if he also, by the way, let's say this ends as is. Let's just say they've agreed that here's the deal, here are the terms to which you're only suspended 3 games. You can't talk about it. So as much as we're all wondering, let's say he can't talk about it. And as much as the league would maybe like to say, see, we had him dead to rights, just so you don't think we're making it up, they can't talk about it either. Maybe lawyers got together and just said, all right, we're all done talking here. Here are the 2 statements. Done. Let's say that's the case, because there's a distinct possibility that's the case.
Yeah.
All right. It's just important to know then that because he accepted that discipline and agreed to these terms, if at any point moving forward he violates the personal conduct policy, it could be for anything. It could be, I don't know, smoking weed. I'm just making something up. It could be anything. It could be something completely different in nature. He's subject to being booted from the league immediately.
Right.
With this agreement.
Which is where, like I'm talking about, the concession for 3 games is in exchange for language like this being put out there in the public.
Mm-hmm.
And bottom line, the NFL is saying we got you dead to rights on proof that we believe that this happened, and Jameis stopped short of admitting that he did it. That's what these 2 statements did. So what happens?
By the way, the Bucs statement seems to support him.
It does. That's not strong at all.
No.
I mean, if you're looking for, let's just say that you believe Jameis did it and you want the Bucs to make a stand for the community.
It wouldn't be their statement.
You'd
wouldn't
be
be that.
pissed as hell with that statement.
Well, and there will be plenty of people who will be angry with that statement because they're going to see it as a positioning the team.
It's passive voice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that was the position you were put in versus I'm sorry you put yourself in that position.
Right. Well, they do blame him for putting himself in that position.
They're saying it's unfortunate that he was.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
the exact
part
language you have in front of you.
No, but that's the weird thing. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find that. Well, that's on the other sheet. Sorry. Yeah, they
put an extra layer there, though, man. That's the thing about that statement that makes no sense.
Yeah, the Bucs statement is, hey, we expect, I'm going to paraphrase this, we expect our employees to act in accordance with the personal conduct policy from the NFL, and we're disappointed that Jameis put himself in a position where he could have been found to have violated that policy.
They're not saying we're disappointed he violated the policy.
Right. That's correct.
Yeah.
So that sounds like they disagree with the league. Yeah.
Something tells me this might be the end of it in terms of official statements. It sounds like
it sounds like both sides wanted to just go away.
And they have their beliefs, and you know what I mean? It's almost a he said, she said league is one side and Jameis and the Bucs are the other.
What a mess. What a complete and utter mess.
His statement could have been a lot cleaner, though. That's ridiculous. If he's not going to admit to it.
Who's ever advising him is not doing him any favors. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Issued a notice of several ways the Big Bend and surrounding areas can help those in need. The FCSO has set up and is administering an official GoFundMe page with the express intent of helping local victims. To donate, you can access the fund at GoFundMe.com and by searching East Point Fire Victim Relief Fund. Additionally, any clothes and supplies you wish to donate can be dropped off at the East Point Firehouse. Once again, to donate to those affected in East Point, head to GoFundMe.com and search East Point Fire Victim Relief Fund.
The Elite Soccer Academy is for serious soccer players. This intense camp brings some of the best talent from across the nation and even internationally to Tallahassee, all looking for the edge to improve their game. The mission of this academy is simple: provide every player with an unforgettable soccer experience that takes them to a new playing level. Registration is now open for boys and girls age 11 through 18. Camps are open to any and all entrants and are only limited by age, grade, number, or gender as listed in the camp description. To register, go to SeminolesSoccerCamps.com. That's SeminolesSoccerCamps.com.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops? They say that they guarantee the shops work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
I'm the manager of tire sales at Firestone Complete Auto Care. I got my driver's license when I was 17. The back of my truck started fishtailing. That's the reason why you want good tires. They need to be able to cut through that water so that you don't lose control. My name is Gary, and I'm proud to keep your car running newer, longer.
Come get our best deal on Firestone tires this summer. Check driveafirestone.com or your local Firestone Complete Auto Care for more details. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
It's time to get your chop on as our Atlanta Braves continue to roll through the big NL East battles and into the summer.
The 3-2 pitch, here it comes, and there it goes. It's fair, it's long, it's in the chop house.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey, and by Metro Deli in downtown Tallahassee. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com/Braves. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hey, as an aside, I don't know if you were up. It's not really an aside because they're going to play the championship game tonight. Were you watching the end of the Arkansas-Oregon State game?
No, and I went back because I saw your tweet this morning, as Twitter likes to do. It, puts,
that bothers me.
Yeah. So I was thinking, well, what could that be about? Well, the Pirates beat my Mets by coming back and scoring 4 in the 9th yesterday, so we retain the title for being really, really bad and worse than the Pirates. So he's not talking about that.
No.
Oh, it must be the College World Series. So then I looked through the highlights and I saw what you're talking about, how baseball can be a little rough.
Well, I was watching it. I did the show last night with Trey Jones on the PGA Tour channel, which was great, fun to do. And it was really fun because we got to talk about Brooks Koepka and back to back, because we didn't get to do it the week before with Hugh Green passing away. Did I say
Hubert Green?
Hubert Green, yeah. And so because we didn't, this was the week for us to talk on it, and he had talked about the text he got from Brooks after the U.S. Open victory at 2 o'clock in the morning, and Brooks was finally just getting ready to leave.
What did it say?
Well, it said it thanked Trey for all the times that he made him make putts in really difficult conditions. Trey would go, and this is really cool. This is cool inside information. In order to toughen Brooks up and other players up, Trey will put together sort of a rigorous set of, I guess, he'll take those guide sticks, all the alignment rods,
yeah,
and he'll put them all over a putting green, and you have to find a way to get the ball in the hole efficiently. You're allowed.
Oh, it's like a puzzle.
Yeah. You're also allowed to putt over the alignment rod if you think you can make it happen. So if you say, you know what, I'm going to putt right over this alignment rod and make it and account for the bump and everything else. And it's just to show you that you can will a ball into a hole. You've got to find ways to get better at this, because you're going to have all kinds of different grass and conditions and times in which it's not fair and it's not country club clean, and you're going to have to find a way to get the ball in the hole. And Brooks then later texted him that night and said, thank you for all those drills. It was bumpy out there, but I knew I could make it because of you. That's really cool.
Wow.
Uh-huh. That's pretty touching.
Well, that's very nice. Could have said that in his interview on Fox.
Well, right. But anyhow, so he did talk about that, which I thought was really neat. Anyhow, so learning that and talking with him and being able to do that show last night was an awful lot of fun. And then I get home from that, and I'm always wired after doing that show because you're on, you got to be focused and locked in. And so I come into the house, my wife's going to bed, I give her a kiss, I'm going to decompress, I'm trying to get tired, I need to go to sleep, and I throw on the TV, and it's the last 2 innings of the College World Series. And I go, all right, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to have a beer, I'm going to watch these last 2 innings, I'm going to watch this game end. And there I was, 2 outs and 2 strikes, thinking, well, good for Van Horn. He's been out there countless times and can't win one. He's starting to get the reputation, and I'm sensitive to that because I feel bad for Martin all these times that he's had a chance. I think Van Horn, between Nebraska and Arkansas, has now been there 7 different times with an elite team and couldn't bring home the title, and they brought that up. And they show him in the dugout. His closer's in the game, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and there's the pop-up. And I'm watching this going, good for him. He's going to get his title. What a great feeling for those people. They've wanted this so bad. And I'm watching those 3 kids converge on that ball, and I'm going, somebody call that. Somebody's going to need to call that. Somebody's going to need to call that.
Don't worry. We can just transfer money from your account into a portfolio with your son, and it's gone.
And because I watch, and as do you and so many others, so much baseball, the second that ball fell to the earth is the second my brain went, oh, no, they're going to give up the game-tying hit. I actually ended up thinking in my mind, here comes a bomb. I mean, it's just the law. You got to make that play, and if you don't make that play, that is what's going to happen next. Baseball has a habit of putting the knife in and twisting that baby. They're not going to let you go peacefully. It is, oh, no, there's more pain to come. We got a little more where that came from. And as soon as that ball dropped, I literally almost, and I don't care about either team, literally went, oh, no. And they kept showing the fans for Arkansas and the look on their face because they knew too.
Yep.
They all knew. Anybody that's watched a damn baseball game knows this is going to find a way to get through, and this game's going to be tied.
Baseball's saying, my goodness, that is a wound. Oh, no, we must treat this. Here, I have table salt right here at my disposal. Allow me to treat your wound.
Because, no, I wouldn't have guessed that not only does, your man's going to hit the single and then the next guy up is going to hit a laser 2-run homer, which When it came off his bat, I went, oh no, it's getting worse. This is all falling to pieces. Over and over and over again.
Off speed.
100%. I heard it in my brain when he hit it.
Off speed. High in the air.
I wanted to call you, but I knew you were in bed, and I just thought he'll see, and everybody can relate to that. It's just, oh no. And then it happened. And I don't have a good feeling for Arkansas tonight. No. I've got to be honest with you. Now, they're a great team, and they can really hit. So you can't count them out, but.
That's where I wish there was, at least at our disposal, perhaps for being at ESPN, the clips of Monday Night Football from years past, because the opening, it was Arizona and somebody else for Monday Night Football, and it was Tirico and Gruden. And Gruden was listing all the issues with the Cardinals.
No starting quarterback, left tackle was out for the game.
Yeah, linebacker's not playing.
Suspended, yeah.
The conclusion he comes to, they're in trouble, Mike.
That's all he says. You're a few seconds into the game. They're in trouble, Mike. You're like,
it's in the cold open.
Yeah,
they're setting up everything. Why tonight's going to be fun.
Yeah, it should be a great game. Yeah. No, Gruden's here to tell you can go to bed.
Oh, buddy. They're in trouble, Mike. Yeah. I don't know how they're going to win this one.
And if you thought to yourself, if you were a Cardinals fan, like, well, Jesus, man.
There's no Kurt Warner, no Larry Fitzgerald. Their best defender's out, and they've got 2 offensive linemen on the shelf. They're in trouble, Mike.
As soon as he utters the words, the people in the executives are like, John, we got to sell the game, man.
Goodbye, 400,000 viewers.
Yeah, well, last night, that ball falls. The next pitch is 2 pitches later, it's a single into left, followed by a 2-run bomb in Oregon State, celebrating at home plate. And I'm going, oh, no, it's happened. That's it. Dave Van Horn's that'll be the 8th time. What do you do?
Well, he's a terrible coach.
No.
He's terrible. That's what you do.
You just
can't win the big one.
Yeah.
He can't win the big one.
Dave, a well-coached team would have caught that foul ball. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
And that would certainly make a deal more attractive. And the way they could get a first-round pick is to take some money into their salary cap, take a bad contract from another team, somebody who's trying to get money off, and they'll have to attach a draft pick to it. So they've had some of those conversations.
The Spurs also still have hope they can keep Leonard, even though the relationship has gone sour.
It's official now. Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston gets a 3-game suspension for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Winston allegedly groped a female Uber driver. And college baseball will have a champion tonight in Omaha. Game 3 of the College World Series Finals for Arkansas and Oregon State. It's at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with new, clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. Why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
The Firestone 30-day buy and try guarantee. It's the guarantee that means if you're not satisfied within the first 30 days of your tire purchase, Firestone will refund or replace them. No one is more committed to the quality of their tires than Firestone, and we stand behind everything we put our name on. Because while finding the right tire isn't always easy, choosing the right name should be. Find the right tire for you at your local Firestone retailer. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Limitations and restrictions apply. See FirestoneTire.com for full details. Commercial lawnmowers don't have odometers, but if they did, you might be surprised to see you could be mowing thousands of miles a year. That's why Gravely zero-turn mowers are built for the long haul. So when you're mowing the equivalent of Miami through Kentucky bluegrass country, all the way to Seattle, and back again every year, you can count on your Gravely zero-turn mower to get the job done, mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Over 150 new zero turns in stock. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view inventory and pricing. In Thomasville, Georgia.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to give you special savings on the toughest tractors and utility vehicles on earth during the Mahindra Red Tag Sale. Hurry in for up to $7,900 in cash back and red tag savings. Only from Mahindra.
Up to $7,900 in cash back savings. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view selection.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
In Thomasville, Georgia.
I'm the manager of tire sales at Firestone Complete Auto Care. I got my driver's license when I was 17. Back of my truck started fishtailing. That's the reason why you want good tires. They need to be able to cut through that water so that you don't lose control. My name is Gary, and I'm proud to keep your car running newer, longer.
Come get our best deal on Firestone tires this summer. Check driveafirestone.com or your local Firestone Complete Auto Care for more details. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Albert Breer is a former NFL Network reporter and Sports Illustrated writer currently. He made statements earlier this afternoon regarding the suspension of Jameis Winston. And these are things we've discussed before and theorized, Tom. It looks like that is accurate. Our speculation proved to be accurate. It was an easy thing to deduce, but what was stated here was that by Breer, Winston receiving 3 games versus 6, possible under 6, the NFL conduct policy was, quote, indeed the result of a settlement talk between the NFL, the NFL Players Association, and reps. So there is not going to be an appeal. Well, we guessed that. That was kind of stated early on. He went on to say there was mutual benefit for the National Football League. They wanted to avoid a Tom Brady, Ezekiel Elliott-like drawn-out legal fight. And for Winston, it's that he gets fewer games and can put it behind him now and move forward. Now, a lot of people, and you look at Joe Bucks Fan and other sites that cover the Bucks, will say that fans would believe that a legal fight is worth it if you declare your innocence and say, I didn't do what I'm accused of here, and you know what? Let's go to court. Fans will say, if that's the case, that's what you should have done, as opposed to issue an apology that doesn't admit to doing what you're accused of and says that you're upset with the league's findings or disappointed by the league's findings.
Yeah.
Who knows what else is going to happen here, but what I do think is that, frustratingly so, I'm not so sure we're going to hear any more from either side.
No, this seems like a comprehensive agreement on its face. But
yeah, just read. I'm not a lawyer. Don't play one here. I am speculating, but when you read these statements, you get a sense that all parties have agreed to shut the hell up moving forward.
But what doesn't make sense to me, there's a couple of things. The Winston statement being number one. Why wouldn't you put a sentence in your statement if you're going to claim that you're staying by your story, you're standing by your story? Because he's not admitting to groping the driver.
That's correct.
Correct? So why would you not throw another sentence in there? I apologize if I made the Uber driver feel uncomfortable. Is that what it said? That's at least what the initial statement said after the BuzzFeed report last year.
Yeah, putting her in a position.
Right,
You know,
an
she's
uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
I maintain that she made something along the lines that very clearly says that I do not agree with the findings of the NFL's. You could even leave her out of it.
He says he doesn't agree with the findings.
He says he's disappointed
Well, I mean,
with the NFL. But he could say, while I don't agree with their conclusions, I understand the NFL's process.
Maybe they told him he couldn't say that. I don't know.
It just stops short of not just where the public would want it to go, but it stops short of making sense.
I don't disagree, Tom. I think that the NFL operates in curious ways at all times. I mean, there are a lot of layers to this, and some, if you go down one rabbit hole, you come out the other side saying, you know, the Bucs should cut him, we should move on and get another quarterback, and I just don't know that I can trust Jameis Winston as far as I can throw him. You go down another way, you say, I don't know what to believe. It's the NFL. They've proven themselves to be repeatedly dumb and really wildly inconsistent, and that's a league that suppressed evidence of domestic violence. They had the video evidence of Ray Rice punching a woman in an elevator and hid it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to believe from that league.
Yeah, that feels, and I get it where you're coming from,
I'm
because
saying,
that's true. But that feels like defense attorney, like red herring tactics to distract from the Jameis case, because to me the focus is he categorically denies the Uber driver's account.
What I'm saying, and it sounds like he still does, what I'm saying is that this league has in the last 2 years shown us what they base these decisions on. There is no clear-cut precedent. There is no policy in place beyond a wide-ranging, seemingly dictator-like ability for the commissioner to hand down punishments
That's
however
true.
he sees fit.
This is true.
Based on whatever he wants to base it on. We saw it with the Tom Brady case. We saw it with the Ezekiel Elliott case. We've seen it with other cases. Now we see it here. And it's left people wondering, hey, look, you can believe. I'm not telling anybody what to believe. You can believe a lot of things in this case. You can believe Jameis is guilty. You can believe he's not guilty. You can think the league is whatever. I don't know. But what is not really up for debate is that league is wildly inconsistent and does not seem to have a very consistent set of policies in place by which they use those rules, those bylaws as guidance.
No, there's no consistent set, because the league, it would be very easy if the league was able to put together a policy that says, if our independent investigation
says you did this, you did it, and you're done.
Right. It's not my decision. The commissioner should want it not to be his decision.
Well, but this is
it's out of my hands.
Well,
our investigators looked at the evidence, and here's the conclusion they came to.
If you talk to NFL players, I've only talked to a few on this, but many more that I haven't talked to have spoken publicly about this over the last couple of years. They'll tell you that because the league is not an arm of the law and does not have at its disposal certain investigative tools the way that law enforcement does, that they should want to rid themselves of that responsibility. That they ought to say, well, that's not, we're a football league. We don't involve ourselves in those matters. We'll wait for law enforcement to conclude an investigation, and then we'll act based on their findings. So if there's a charge, then we're going to suspend you. If there's not, we won't. End of story. You end all the gray area and all of that.
It's just really curious to me that if we have a concrete answer on how many people were in the car, why don't we have it? And when will we ever have it? Because that
certainly will help
gives the public, that informs the public on who to believe in this scenario and to the edge of the whole story.
Or how many trips were taken or not taken, and how many I don't,
If Darby is disciplined, then we'll have a better feel for this situation, won't we?
Yeah. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
These are some great suggestions. There are lots of ways to save. Caller, you're on the air.
I reduce energy for water heating by lowering my water heater temperature and installing low-flow shower heads.
We have time for one more caller. What do you have for us?
I make sure to use my programmable thermostat to regulate the temperature in my home when I'm away.
Thank you, caller. That's all the time we have today.
The City of Tallahassee Utilities would like to help you save as much energy as you can and save money while you're at it. Visit talgov.com for more information and start saving energy today.
Come into Lowe's for outstanding appliance deals for July 4th and beyond. Find the perfect suite for your kitchen or give Laundry Day a major upgrade. You'll get up to 40% off appliance special values on some of the best brands in the business, like Samsung, Whirlpool, GE, and Frigidaire. And you'll see why nobody beats our prices on appliances. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid through 7/11. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Spurs are talking with several teams, including the Lakers and the Celtics, about trading forward Kawhi Leonard.
The Lakers have enough to cobble together. We reported yesterday, too, that they've been on the market trying to find another first-round pick that they could include in any potential trade package. And that would certainly make a deal more attractive. And the way they could get a first-round pick is to take some money into their salary cap, take a bad contract from another team, somebody who's trying to get money off, and they'll have to attach a draft pick to it. So they've had some of those conversations.
The Spurs also still have hope they can keep Leonard, even though the relationship has gone sour. It's official now. Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston gets a 3-game suspension for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Winston allegedly groped a female Uber driver. And college baseball will have a champion tonight in Omaha, Game 3 of the College World Series Finals for Arkansas and Oregon State. It's at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Don't miss anything. But if you do, remember this. We'll be posting the show, all 3 hours of it, upon the conclusion of the program to iTunes and our own audio vault. So you can go back and get caught up with anything you may have missed. You can also email us, jcs at 979espnradio.com. You can find me on Twitter at jcameronshow. Also, if you follow at 979 ESPN Radio, you can see the show being periscoped. On YouTube, it's ESPN Tallahassee. Hello, YouTubers. And don't forget about the WTSM app, which is free for all mobile devices. I know this isn't worthy of a lead, as the Winston story is the lead, but a 95-year-old man had to beat a fox to death on his back porch.
What?
Yeah. You can bet I'm going to get to that story.
To save his own animal or something?
To save his life. It was a rabid fox.
Oh, it was coming after him?
Yeah. 95 years old, beating a fox to death with a wooden plank. That's the kind of fun and games we have around here.
That would win the short film award of the year at the Sundance Festival.
It would have to be so good, because apparently he got bit by the fox and it was on. It was in Maine, too. You know how spry you have to be, first of all, to beat a wild animal to death? And secondly, to deal with Maine winters. My goodness, that guy's a tough old bird, is my guess. Extremely.
Yeah, how much longer would he live in warmer weather, right?
Yeah, my God.
Yeah. Wow, beat a fox to death.
Yeah, I'll read you the story later. It's good stuff. It reminded me of another story that once made me laugh.
We're going to need that.
Oh, there's plenty out there, man. It can't be all Winston all the time, especially now since the statements have been made, and now we're waiting more. Now we're like, well, I don't know. Well, what do we do here? It's not good, but I don't. Certainly, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, is the NFL going to release the evidence, or just say, yeah, we believe her? Is Winston going to say, I'm disappointed, or are you going to say why you're disappointed? Like, what?
Are the Bucs going to say anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, right? That's the news of the day. If you're just hopping in your car, and forgive me if you've listened to the whole first hour and you're saying, oh, come on, not again. We're not doing this again. Well, we are doing it again because it is the news of the day. Jameis Winston has been suspended by the NFL for the first 3 games of the season, and statements were released. In fact, I don't know that I need to read the statement every hour, or do you think I should? It's a tough call, right? Because it takes up. Look,
definitely the 5 o'clock hour.
Yeah,
I would think if you want to highlight a couple of the key paragraphs of what the NFL is saying, because a lot of it is fluff and introductory and closing paragraphs.
The special counsel for conduct. There's a guy named Todd Jones who's the NFL special counsel for conduct. Okay, so let's just get you to the parties, the principles here.
I like this. This is the Spark Notes version. This is
okay. So this is Jameis Winston, NFL quarterback, former Noel, current Tampa Bay Buccaneer quarterback. It's the National Football League. That's the league he plays in. And this is Todd Jones, who is the NFL special counsel for conduct. Todd says, hey, we're suspending Jameis for 3 games without pay for a violation of the NFL's personal conduct policy. Boom. Part number 1, first and foremost, there you go. 3 games, Violation personal conduct policy.
Yeah, I just footnoted Goodell says yes to that, obviously. Because investigators, they could tell Goodell what to do, and he's like, you think that should happen?
Which he has done.
Yes.
Yeah. So then they talk about learning of the accusation of the incident that dates back to 2016. They say upon hearing of that claim, they at that point put together a team to investigate that claim, a comprehensive investigation as they deemed it. And in the course of that, they deemed that the woman making the accusations that Jameis Winston groped her in a sexual manner. I don't know if there's any other manner to grope usually in these cases, but that he did. Because if I groped your arm, you're not going to complain to the NFL about that, or your employer. I don't think, maybe, but that he groped her, and then the NFL said, well, let's look into this. And then after doing their investigation and interviewing her and Jameis and all parties involved and looking at a lot of other factors, they believe that she's credible. I think it's a credible claim. And therefore, they suspended him 3 games. Now, as part of that suspension and part of the deal that we since learned that the league and the NFLPA and Winston's camp cut with the league is that he has to obtain a clinical evaluation, that he has to cooperate with any recommended program of therapeutic intervention. They're saying, look, we want you to get looked at. Now, I will tell you that given that it appears alcohol was involved in this case, that is standard. They're going to make their players or their employees certainly be evaluated in this situation to find out if they've got a drug and alcohol problem, amongst other things. So he is eligible to play in the preseason. It's 3 games. End of story. That's, in a nutshell, what the NFL said. Now, Winston's response to that is interesting, poorly put together, in my opinion.
Well, also, just for in case you don't know the timeline of these things, and it's our job to, his statement was released through Ian Rappaport's Facebook account. I know, right? But Ian Rappaport, NFL.com insider, released Jameis' statement minutes before the league's release and statement was made public. So that was interesting. The timing of it was fascinating, that Jameis would be the first one to speak on the matter officially through Ian Rappaport.
So Jameis says in his statement that the NFL informed him he'd be suspended for 3 games. He apologized to the Uber driver for the position, quote unquote, that he put her in. And then he went on to say that in the past 2.5 years of his life, he's had experiences and opportunities and events that have helped him to grow, and he eliminated alcohol from his life. And he goes on to say that he knows he's held to a higher standard on and off the field. He has a responsibility to his family, his teammates, his community. And he apologized to his teammates in the Bucs organization. He never admitted to the groping. He goes on to say that he's disappointed in the NFL's decision and that he understands the process, the NFL's process, and that he'll take advantage of the resources available to him to help achieve his goals. And then he says he's looking forward to moving on and to be a better influence in the community and a better person overall and a better teammate. So, and again, I'm paraphrasing there too, trying to make this a little bit more succinct, but that's what the two sides had to say today. The Bucs appear to be certainly backing Jameis Winston in that their statement, I can read because it's very brief. All members of our organization are expected to conduct themselves in accordance with the personal conduct policy of the NFL. We are disappointed that Jameis Winston put himself in a position that has been found to violate the policy and accept today's decision by the commissioner. Now, you and I remarked in the first hour that seems to be a stance being taken by the team in the corner of Jameis Winston.
They're not saying shame on you, Jameis,
no,
in that statement at
all.
all.
They're almost saying, okay, league, got it, sure.
Right.
I mean,
they're saying, Jameis, great job putting yourself in this position, but they're not saying you did. They're not saying he did anything wrong there.
Yeah, I mean, right, they're not. And they're saying, look, we know we got to follow certain rules that the NFL has in place, and we're sorry that, our guy was found to have violated those.
Yes, his mistake was putting himself in a position
to where he could be thought to have violated them. It doesn't appear like they think he did anything wrong.
No, and for whether that's for PR purposes because they're going to, circle the wagons around him and still, to me, that's an endorsement that they're going to continue with him as the face of the franchise.
Well,
no, but that to me is an indicator of their plans moving forward with him. They're
I
comfortable.
think it's fair to speculate that that is their plan moving forward, that they've seen enough in him and his changes in his life and his play on the field to say they're going to stick by him.
That's the problem. There is the changes in his life, and this is his statement's such a mess. The more I read it, the more I'm thinking, what in the world are you doing?
Because he's got people around him who don't know what they're doing.
Well, in the past 2.5 years, my life has been filled with experiences, opportunities, and events that have helped me grow, mature, and learn, including the fact that I've eliminated alcohol from my life. So there's where to begin. In the past 2.5 years, so that means what? You were immature all the way up to 2.5 years ago. So, and there have been. It's been filled with experiences, opportunities, and events. So have you done something else wrong in the last 2.5 years that's helped shape you to become a more mature individual?
No, I think he means everything under that umbrella, such as volunteering for charities and helping out in the community and all those other things.
Including the fact that I have eliminated alcohol from my life. So what, you blaming alcohol for the problem here?
Yeah. Yes, he is.
What the hell are you doing? You can't do that. You got to take responsibility.
Right.
You can't put that in a paragraph apologizing to the driver that alcohol is to blame for it.
I agree. It's poorly crafted.
That's just an element of it that I haven't really thought about until you read it again.
No, that's what you do when you sit across from Tom Rinaldi. If you want to win the PR battle, that's when you go into the,
You don't put it in the same graph as your apology to a person that I've eliminated alcohol from my life, So in a way, I'm just saying it was the alcohol's fault, not my fault.
Well, but and what was the alcohol's fault? That he was cursing in the car? That he put his arm around her? That he did what? Because he never says he groped her. He never says he did what she says.
Well, does it open the door for him saying that I can't account for it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a clumsy statement. I think, but you know what? I also think it's not surprising to hear the story that the NFLPA and the NFL got together and said, "All right, well, listen, this is a mess. Will you agree to 3 games? I mean, we want to give you 6, but you're going to threaten to sue here.
That's curious to me too. The PA's role in these types of negotiations, because obviously they will grandstand, and so will the league when either has an opportunity ahead of a CBA.
Mm-hmm.
But just to be on a conference call or in a league office or a neutral area for a meeting between the league officials and the Players Association and Jameis's representatives, I just wonder how that conversation sounds. Who starts it, and how do you deal with all the important factors?
What came out was that it was a settlement after talks between the league and the NFLPA and the reps as to what's the number we can agree on. All parties would say okay to.
Right.
Without there being an appeal. We don't want you to appeal it because clearly, originally, it seems they had decided that the number was going to be such that the Winston camp and the Bucs said, and the NFLPA said no.
But this makes me revisit last week when you talked about the Winston camp was bracing for a 3-game suspension, and you got information from your sources that said that the camp has been notified it's up to 3 games,
Up
right?
to 3 games max.
Yeah, but what that makes me wonder is, okay, so they got a phone call from whom? Somebody from the league office or the PA? Chances are it's from the PA.
Yeah. Yeah, that they were informed it's probably going to be 3 games.
I'll bet the NFLPA was the one there. It doesn't change anything in terms of the suspension itself, but I just wonder if they sit down in a room and Winston's reps have to sit kind of behind the PA. We'll handle this, guys.
It's a messy, ugly situation that it's just a nightmare. And I know what happens with these things. Within 72 hours, when people have taken a step back, They'll obviously vet the statements. They'll read through all these, parse the statements, go through all these things, and kind of come to a conclusion. And we'll all have a conclusion in our own mind as to what we think is likely to have happened or didn't happen. And all of that's informed for a lot of different ways. As for the concrete, what we know, what we don't know, there's a whole lot of I don't have any idea what to know here because he's not at any point in this apology admitting that he's to doing what he's accused of.
And whatever he did wrong, he's saying alcohol.
He also is disappointed in the league's decision.
Yeah.
Which clearly says that he doesn't think that anything happened that other than maybe putting her in an uncomfortable position, which he's now admitted to twice.
Right. Which is not the same thing.
Well, not even close. Not even close.
But why wouldn't you? Yeah, the question is, are the terms of the agreement that you can't say anything more than
that,
speaking in generalities?
Yeah. There's a whole lot of both sides presenting something where they say read between the lines. The league's going, read between the lines. We had him dead to rights.
Mm-hmm.
Jameis is going, read between the lines. I can't tell you exactly what I think about this, but I didn't do that.
Right. And this, okay, so everybody's had their own personal discussions about this, right? I
Sure.
mean, it's like, so you're talking to
Everybody's got an
your
opinion about
dad
this.
or
Yeah.
your family members or whatever. I'm talking to my buddies down in Tampa. And so when this is going on last week, with the information that we had.
And by the way, have you noticed this? I don't know if it's happened this way. I'm just kind of curious. When you talk to your people in Tampa, when you talk to your family members, when you talk to your girlfriend, when I talk to my wife, I talk to fellow Bucs fans and those that hate Jameis and those that love Jameis and everybody in between. Have you noted how many times the position has shifted a little bit? Like at one point, we're all like, I don't know, I think he might have done it. And then the next time you're like, well, I don't know. This is strange.
Yeah.
And then the next it's like, well, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. And then the next it's, what's the league doing? He should sue the league. And the next is, I think he should maybe step down from playing football and the Bucs need to move on. And then the next is, well, I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed a ton.
It's happened a lot like that. And I can tell you, listen, I vet these things out vocally myself.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend and I last week are sitting down dinner. We have Taco Thursday because we like to be different.
Because, damn it, it's good.
Yes.
Tacos are always
Everybody's
good.
Taco Tuesday.
I
We're
have
Taco Thursday.
I have Taco Monday. I have Taco Wednesday, Taco Saturday. Sometimes I even double down on Taco Double Weekend.
So she asked me point blank, so what do you think? And I said, okay, well, allow me to ramble a little bit, not here, but there. And I was laying out all of the evidence that we had in the moment. I said,
Well, you had the denial.
Here are the gray areas. Well, we had the voicemail. There's the voicemail that we had heard, too.
The voicemail from the Uber company.
The Uber company. You have Darby's statement. You have John Clune being hired, which I'm sorry, to me, that's not a good look for you as a client. If of all the lawyers in the country, you're hiring John Clune.
Okay, so let's clarify for the purposes of our audience and those that haven't been clued into this. The accuser hired the same attorney that represented Erica Kinsman.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Of all the ones in the country, I thought, well, that's fascinating. And then BuzzFeed is the play. Lack of a police report. However, there was an immediate report to Uber, so this wasn't like something she thought about.
Yeah, it wasn't 3 weeks later,
Uber
but at the same
later.
time, it wasn't a call to the police. There's no sworn affidavit, none of that.
So it's an absolute mess. And
yes.
And you're exactly right. So as I'm discussing these things, I'm saying I'm inclined to believe him based upon they're going to have an answer here on how many people were in the car and when they were in the car.
And we still don't.
And we still don't publicly, which is crazy. I'm not saying we do, but we still don't have that answer publicly, which is the key piece of evidence here.
In your mind, certainly that's the key piece of evidence.
It is in my mind because she's claiming he was the only one who was in the front seat, and he says, I categorically deny that. She forgets how many people were in the car and where they were sitting.
So now,
to me,
right off the bat, if you find out there were more than one person in the car, we're done here. In your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we find out he was the only one, then we're done here. Both ways.
And I can argue both ways that neither should necessarily be definitive.
Sure, but in the Kinsman situation, for example, you have consistency in story versus one that's changed and been refuted by science and witness testimony.
There are a lot of things wrong with the Kinsman story.
I still don't know what happened in the key
moments. Sure, nobody does.
I can't know that.
Those two are the only two.
But I have to believe Jameis here because his story remained the same and hers changed and it was refuted.
Oh, you mean back when we were going through all that? Yeah. But now to fast forward now, you don't know.
Right, but if her if her story, at least the way it begins, is found to be true and his is found to be untrue, and
that's certainly damning.
He went so far as to say, he didn't say, I don't recall the night. He says, I categorically deny this account.
I don't think he used the words categorically.
He used categorically. I'll go back to the BuzzFeed statement. I'll go find it just to make sure that I'm correct here.
I think he categorically denied it without categorically denying it. I think he said that she's mistaken. You might be right. Maybe he did. I couldn't remember.
I can't side with him in that moment then because we're operating from two different starting points and his is wrong. So how can I assume that the rest of the conclusion is correct?
If you find that he was the only one in the car.
Right, that's the key.
Which we still don't know. It's just an unholy mess. It's just one thing I will tell you, and removing, and we talk openly on this show all the time so that everybody will know where we stand on teams we root for and all that stuff. It's a nightmare for an organization to have to deal with their franchise quarterback going through this. It's not unprecedented. Not even criminally speaking, it's not even as bad as a certain Hall of Fame quarterback went through. Lest we forget Roethlisberger in the situation in Milledgeville, Georgia, in a really ugly incident, coupled with a later claim that was also refuted. Nonetheless, obviously the Steelers and Roethlisberger and others weathered that storm, and he's at a place now in his career where that is seldom, if ever, mentioned.
Yeah.
So it's not without precedent is the point. It will be interesting to see if the career path is anything similar or if this is far enough along in the day and age of social media where that's an impossibility. Just talking out loud here.
Yes.
I mean, it's just spitballing because that's curious to me.
Okay, Winston's representative, Russ Spielman, issued a statement saying, "We categorically deny this allegation. It is our understanding the Uber driver was unable to identify the specific individual who allegedly touched this driver inappropriately. The only reason his name is being dragged in this is the Uber driver, or the Uber account, rather, was used to call the ride." And then Winston himself spoke on it. So that's Russ Spielman, who says we categorically deny.
But what did Winston say?
Winston says, "The story falsely accuses me of making inappropriate contact with this driver. Right. I believe the driver was confused as to the number of passengers in the car and who was sitting next to her. The accusation is false, and given the nature of the allegation and increased awareness and consideration of these types of matters, blah, blah, blah."
So we're both right. I knew Winston didn't use the word categorically.
Well, his
lawyer did. He didn't. His statement was what I was going on. He never said that. What he said was, I believe she was confused.
His team said that. I mean, good Lord. He endorses what his lawyer says for him, yes?
I don't know.
I would think so.
I don't. Because if he did, he wouldn't allow this statement to go out today.
Well, okay.
No. I think my point was Winston didn't go, I categorically deny this. His lawyer did. The point would be he denied it. It doesn't matter whether he said categorically or not. That's just semantics as to who.
He said the accusation is false, and she doesn't remember how many people were in the car.
That's right. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So there's nothing about today that reveals one way or the other who's telling the truth on that. Not from the league statement, not from Winston's, we don't know.
That would be an all-time bluff by the league if they claim we have him dead to rights and her story is consistent and credible. That would be amazing.
Well, and that's where you and I might disagree a little bit. The league has done a lot of things to reveal themselves as particularly unsavory and full of it. Time and again, including on things that are, I mean, you talk about egregious. We're talking about people's lives, concussions, and everything else that they covered up.
Understand. Then there's also this element, which is what I was talking with my buddies last week. There's two reasons you don't appeal. Number one, it's because you did it. Number two, it's because you cut a deal. And this is apparently the latter case. However, if you don't believe you're guilty of this at all.
Oh, well, listen, lawyers will tell you all day long, shut up, it doesn't matter. Lawyers will tell you, my lawyer would tell me, doesn't matter, Cameron. I don't care if you did or didn't do it. Shut up. It doesn't do you any good to talk. Let this cool down and go away and go on with your life. I promise you, you'll be better off than keeping it in the news by talking about it. That's what a lawyer would tell you. We mix this up all the time, and I'm with you, man, because when I first see things that I think, oh, God, if I didn't do that, I'd be
if you're the face of a franchise, if you're a quarterback, and if you have the history you have, too.
Right, and you may want to, but I'm telling you, attorneys would tell you to shut up. When in doubt, lawyers tell you to shut up. The less you say, the better, period. And that's where the public frequently, in all cases, gets very confused about what's going on with an individual accused of a crime or in the news for the wrong reasons. We all say, well, God, if that were me, well, if that were you and there were millions on the line in a potential criminal case, you'd have a really highfalutin lawyer, and that lawyer would tell you to shut the hell up immediately. That'd be the first thing he'd say is, don't say a word. I'm telling you, I know. It's crazy. I mean, and I'm not a famous person. Jameis is a famous person. I'm just known in this community, maybe a few others. But I've had legal counsel for crazy things, and they've said, I mean, nothing like this. I don't want to confuse anybody, but you know, I've got an agent, I've got people. Anything they say, shut up. But I want to tell people, here's what happened. Shut up. But listen, I 100% didn't do this. I want to tell people that be quiet. You don't say a word. We'll handle this. That's what lawyers tell their clients all the time. I bet you there's a ton of lawyers listening to this right now going, that's correct. That's right. Don't say a word. You'll hear lawyers say little simple things. You get pulled over by the police. This drives police officers nuts. It does, because it kind of runs counter to the community and those representing the community and trying to keep it safer and dealing with its citizens and the citizens interacting with police and back and forth. You'd like to get to a place where you can have dialogue and all of this and further the discussion. It's always made that much more difficult because cops will tell, lawyers will tell you, hey, guys get themselves in trouble when they start talking to cops. stuff's used against you. You may misstep a little bit. You don't know that what you said can be used. Just be quiet. And the cop's going, listen, if you didn't do anything wrong, you need to tell me you didn't do anything wrong so I can get a better picture of what I'm dealing with here. And you're going, no, I'm not allowed to talk to you. And then this is what happens. It's a sidebar. That's a very lengthy sidebar.
No, I understand it.
But I'm telling you, that's why, I agree.
But he's got a foundation and a reputation to worry about in a unique way.
And I guarantee you the attorneys have thought of all of that. I'm assuming with his money, he's got a very good attorney.
They didn't write a statement.
They clearly didn't.
Or if they did.
Whoever his PR people are need to get fired. But I will say the attorney, I'm sure, is weighing all of this. And they may still conclude you're better off shutting up.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Are $6,000 off with prices starting at just $18,970. And as always, all Craft Nissans come with our exclusive free lifetime warranty. So before you head off on your summer vacation, head to Craft Nissan for unbeatable prices. Prices include dealer preparation charge, must finance through NMAC with approved credit, and take delivery from dealer stock.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
Come into Lowe's for outstanding appliance deals for July 4th and beyond. Find the perfect suite for your kitchen or give Laundry Day a major upgrade. You'll get up to 40% off appliance special values on some of the best brands in the business, like Samsung, Whirlpool, GE, and Frigidaire. And you'll see why nobody beats our prices on appliances. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid through 7/11. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
Come out to Hooters in Tallahassee and watch countries from all around the globe battle it out for the title of world champion in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. What better way to watch one of the biggest sporting events of the year than with all the things you love located right in one place? Wings, cold beer, Hooters girls, and big screen TVs from wall to wall. So stop by, cheer on your favorite team, and watch the FIFA World Cup unfold at Hooters in Tallahassee, 2000 North Monroe Street, Tallahassee, Florida. Remember, no great story started over breadsticks.
Commercial lawnmowers don't have odometers, but if they did, you might be surprised to see you could be mowing thousands of miles a year. That's why Gravely zero-turn mowers are built for the long haul. So when you're mowing the equivalent of Miami through Kentucky bluegrass country, all the way to Seattle,
Half double shot, no way.
and back again every year, you can count on your Gravely zero-turn mower to get the job done, mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Over 150 new zero turns in stock. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view inventory and pricing. In Thomasville, Georgia.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to give you special savings on the toughest tractors and utility vehicles on earth during the Mahindra Red Tag Sale. Hurry in for up to $7,900 in cash back and red tag savings. Only from Mahindra.
Up to $7,900 in cash back savings. Visit TNTSupercenter.com to view selection.
Offer with approved credit. See dealer for details. Program restrictions may apply.
In Thomasville, Georgia.
It's back. The 10th annual Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boating Center Red Trout Shootout Fishing Tournament presented by United Rentals on June 30th. This year, compete for a guaranteed purse of over $10,000 paid out in cash to the top 10 teams, weighing in the heaviest combined weight of one redfish and one sea trout. Get registered today by stopping in at Bass Pro Shops or log on to redtroutshootout.com. Save $20 per angler if you register by June 24th. It's the Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boating Center Red Trout Shootout on June 30th.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I can wait 1,000 years, my love. News today that Florida State received another commitment. Derek McClendon going public with a commitment to Florida State. Quote, I knew on Monday after talking it over with my family. McClendon said the decision was an easy one to come to after his visits to Tallahassee. He chose FSU over Florida and NC State, along with a bunch of other schools, that should be noted. He's a... What's the composite ranking on that, Tom? I think you had that a moment ago.
He's a composite 3-star, but he's a Rivals 4-star, which is why, I know, confusing, that he was at the Rivals 5-star challenge.
David Kelly, by the way, doing the recruiting, the receivers coach. He's been involved with him going all the way back to when he was at Oregon and has a long-standing relationship, according to Knowles 247, with the McClendon family. And that won it over. He says, does McClendon, that it was the entire staff, the whole coaching staff made me feel welcome. I feel like they're a family-oriented staff. When me and my family visited there, they always welcomed us. It was just one coach, but all the coaches that really stood out to me. They like me, quote, as a flash in. They run a 4-man front. One defensive end is a power defensive end. The other is a speed rush end. I've played in a 3-man front at my school. And with what I've learned there and my speed, they think I can play either role, but they like me the most at flash, quote unquote. But since I can play either one, it's going to help me get on the field faster, which is what I like.
Well, so we're putting on weight. That's the thing. He's in the 220 range, 225.
Got to get a lot heavier.
So he's got to get heavier either way, no matter if he's playing for finesse or if he's playing for power. But there were some photos from the warchant.com I saw that included Dante Lucas, who was apparently mauling some people at the Rivals 5-star challenge.
Bunch of pictures thrown out there.
And he was standing next to our newest recruit, our newest commitment. And the two of them were posing for the Knowles, man.
Beautiful thing, isn't it?
Well, yes.
They're on a roll right now.
If the trenches are going to get fortified, then things look good. I mean, we need some D tackles. There's a lot of ends that we're running on. But I know the one kid, his name I forget, but the 6'8" one that committed last week, they like him to play interior because of
going to be a monster.
Yeah, 6'8", 300, whatever. Ooh. Yeah.
At 6'8", one would think, I got to look at the body type again, but at 6'8", one would think you could easily get him in the 350 range, right? Just a 6'8", 350 of you can't move me.
One can try.
Little Mount Cody. Did you see the latest updates? The facility that Alabama is building currently and almost about to unveil with the Bama table?
Yes, I watched the video.
God, man. Watching that video makes me understand why coaches clamor for these sorts of things. How could a recruit walk through something like that and not go, I'm home. This will work. This looks better than every place else I've been. I'm going here. Combined with all the winning, they got this.
They're going to do everything short of giving the players money. I mean, they're going to be sleeping on mattresses made out of cash.
They're all going to have a 2-story house.
Right.
Like their own house with a yard and a yard guy. And
And the mattress won't have springs. It'll be full of cash, but you're not allowed to take the cash out of the mattress.
Can't use it.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's nuts, man. Every time I see something like that, you think, because we often ask the question, for example, hey, at some point, when does it all become too much? Is there a point in which it's diminishing returns? I mean, do you need a chocolate fountain? What else do you need to go to a school, right? Isn't it about winning games and opportunities to go pro and education and everything else? At some point, I mean, do you really care if you have an extra 10 televisions in your player's lounge, a pinball machine, a putt-putt golf course? But then when you see that video and you see that facility, you go, well, yeah, that might make a difference.
Well, I thought it was smart. So the big uglies, I mean, any player can do it, but they can grill for themselves. They had the one kid, and he was grilling his own steak because they have a self-service grill out there that overlooks the practice field. That's something else.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's, well, one of the topics that frequently comes up when it comes to college football at this day and age with the ascension of that sport, even from when I first got into broadcasting to now, to a place where you could have argued in the past, first place, NFL by a mile, followed by, for a while it was baseball, then the NBA, then the NHL. That has changed. Now it's the NBA, followed by baseball, followed by the NHL. There are moments where the NHL has a glimmer of hope here and there, flickers.
Yeah, for third.
Yeah, for third.
Over baseball.
Every now and then, or the NBA, depending on what state those leagues are in.
Yeah.
It's sort of a...
it's doing fine.
It's doing really well.
And it's living within its
very
means.
Very much a local... Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the way baseball is now. It's very much of the community. You want... If you're building new stadiums, like let's say the Rays finally get out from under that ridiculous lease in St. Pete, right? That they've been under for 20 years. And they get out from under that and they're going to build a new stadium, wherever that's going to be. And I know the fight's on. You just need to build that to be, 27,000, 33,000.
Right.
I mean, like that stadium needs to be intimate. It needs to be small. That's where we're going. That's where baseball is. And that's worked out well in other communities. It looks great. The optics of it are great. It's inviting. It's something you want to do. And it's got a communal feel to it, and you'll do it. It's not a 60,000-seat sport anymore in this country. It's just not. It used to be. Isn't it anymore? Hell, the NFL is starting to go that way. It's starting to get to be where you're not having 80,000-seat stadiums built. You're having 66,000-seat stadiums built, 57,000-seat stadiums built, because people don't want to leave their living rooms. Anyhow, why did I bring this up? Oh, used to be it was the NFL and then the other three sports. And college football followed closely behind and was primarily popular in the South, Texas, and then maybe a couple places.
More popular than hockey, but yeah.
Well, now that college football has ascended to a place where it's like second on the list, just underneath the NFL, ahead of all those other sports that I just mentioned. I mean, you look at the TV ratings, you look at the numbers.
It's huge.
You look at the dollars poured into the sport. Well, one of the things that is potentially troubling as people pay closer attention and begin to kind of dissect the sport is how few people can truly compete and how the rich get richer and the gap widens. And if you get to a place where, hey, look, man, there's like 8 teams in any given year that have maybe a shot to win a national title, and that's on a good year. Some years it's 4 or 5 teams. Everybody else is playing for some mid-level bowl. At best, that's not good for the sport. It's not. Because gone are the days that you could ever have a 1984, any of these crazy years where like BYU wins it or Colorado and Georgia Tech or any of these other teams rise up and have a year for the ages and compete. Those days are gone.
I'd argue that, maybe in those days it was closer to 20 teams, but I mean that had realistic shots.
But the potential for a once in a lifetime or once in a 20-year span season existed, and it was within the realm of possibility.
Right, because the bowl game would keep you away from the big boys, so you wouldn't have to prove yourself through a 2-game playoff. That's the other thing here is it's a war of attrition.
Right.
I mean, you can fluke and win. You could be Boise and beat Oklahoma in a one-off.
Right.
But can you do it the next week when Alabama's the next opponent? Probably not.
No.
And that makes for a terrible national title game, kind of like the 12 game between Notre Dame and Alabama, which was the closest thing to that example that you're talking about.
And also, by the way, had Oklahoma been invested because it was a playoff game and not a glorified exhibition game, then they would have been playing a different level.
100%. I have two thoughts on the when I saw that video today. One was good. I'm glad that, the athletes are being taken care of above and beyond because they're the ones that provide 80% of the dollars to the university for anything, in terms of that budget. But then the second one is this not the pink Cadillac and fur coat? I mean, at what point is there a pink Cadillac and a fur coat and people start saying to themselves, well, this isn't right? How is it that they could build these lavish facilities and the players don't get a bigger piece of the pie? I don't know. I all at once enjoyed it and said, well, good God, this is just getting ridiculous.
You're picturing Jimmy taking the fur coat off?
Yes.
What are you doing? What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Yeah.
And you're like, they're dead.
That's Emmert.
Emmert's
like, what? Are you kidding me?
What have I told you?
Every player gets a platinum ring?
So there was a story today that noted that Stan Wilcox wants to, along with others of the administration, look at playing some West Coast teams, putting some West Coast teams on the schedule, Tom Lang. Well, my goodness, a legitimate reason for us to do something we always like to do anyhow, and that is speculate on future Florida State football schedules. All right, let's touch on it. We'll do it next. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Scheduled for August 4th and 5th with a guaranteed payout of $20,000. Kingfish prizes range from 1st through 10th place, and Spanish mackerel prizes range from 1st through 3rd place. All profits will go to the Leukemia Research Foundation, where over $915,000 has been donated in the past 14 years. To register, view the tournament schedule, or get more info, visit their website, seaquartersmarina.com, or call them at 697-8400.
Hey folks, Jeff Cameron here for MyPillow. Oh, I've told you all about MyPillow, and I want to thank each and every one of you who took the time to call in and order and find out what it was all about. I bet you're sleeping comfortably. Scores of you have ordered a MyPillow thanks to my suggestion, and now I would say if you haven't done so, please act as so many have before you and go get it. It's really comfortable. MyPillow makes it very easy too, because MyPillow comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you try it, you don't like it, return it, but you won't do that. I'm telling you, you'll love it. MyPillow also comes with a 10-year warranty. It's machine washable and dryable, and it's made right here in the good old US of A. Go to MyPillow.com, Click on the 2-pack special, enter the promo code, and save some money, folks. 97.9 ESPN is that promo code. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price, plus free shipping. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, enter the promo code 97.9 ESPN, or you can give them a call, 800-944-6596. Be sure and use the promo code 979 ESPN. Get you a good pillow. Get you MyPillow.
At the Home Depot, summer heat means it's time to add Vigoro colored mulch to your list and your cart. Right now, get 5 bags for just $10. Underneath it all, Vigoro lays down a layer of protection that helps retain soil moisture. In shades of red, brown, or black, you can't control the heat. You can control the results. Vigoro colored mulch, 5 bags, $10. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Color selection may vary by store. Limit 60 bags per customer.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the 3 amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
June 1776, Philadelphia. The youngest delegate to the Second Continental Congress is appointed by committee to begin the drafting of a document that would declare the vision and intentions of this Congress. Inspired by the Enlightenment ideals of individualism and liberty, this young delegate from Virginia continued the painstaking process through several drafts before presenting the final version, which stands today as an enduring statement of human rights. The man was Thomas Jefferson, who wrote the Declaration of Independence.
Celebrating America's quest for freedom and wishing you a safe and happy Independence Day. Dr. Eve James at Southern Smiles Family Dentistry in Quincy for comprehensive dental care. Sellers Tile on Capitol Circle Northeast for the best design ideas and the highest quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring. Whitten Glass on South Monroe, Tallahassee's first family in glass since 1945.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Spurs are talking with several teams, including the Lakers and the Celtics, about trading forward Kawhi Leonard.
The Lakers have enough to cobble together. We reported yesterday, too, that they've been on the market trying to find another first-round pick that they could include in any potential trade package. And that would certainly make a deal more attractive. And the way they could get a first-round pick is to take some money into their salary cap, take a bad contract from another team, somebody who's trying to get money off, and they'll have to attach a draft pick to it. So they've had some of those conversations.
The Spurs also still have hope they can keep Leonard, even though the relationship has gone sour. It's official now. Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston gets a 3-game suspension for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Winston allegedly groped a female Uber driver. And college baseball will have a champion tonight in Omaha. Game 3 of the College World Series Finals for Arkansas and Oregon State. It's at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Dan Wilcox, the one thing about football scheduling is everybody does schedule so far out, and therefore sometimes you can't match up the dates that you want. I know if it makes sense for us, we'll do it. If it's a West Coast team, Midwest team, or even an East Coast team, we'll do it. He did go on to say that they've started to look at some of the West Coast teams, check into home-and-home series with them, see what's a possibility. And there's the key for me in any discussion about these games and future schedules with Florida State. It's always about getting back to a home-and-home series, the collegiate model for so many years, the rewarding one for so many fans. of different universities is the home and home, not the neutral site, not the, hey, we're going to take it over to Jerry's World or we're going up to Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. No, home and home. I want to step foot on your campus in Norman, Oklahoma. I want to go to Lincoln, Nebraska. I want to be in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I want to step foot on the campus in Baton Rouge, Athens, Georgia. I want to go to those places and experience that tailgate, those fans, and that atmosphere on a Saturday afternoon or night. I want to know what it's like. I want to share in the same passion that we all love and kind of unifies us, and that is the love of college football. And you get that more when you're on somebody else's campus or you're hosting on your own campus, another great institution. Certainly, whether it's a tradition-laden school or just something completely foreign to the history of your athletic programs, and in this case football, I think most people welcome that with open arms. They want to travel with their loved ones, their friends, their alumni, their fans and friends to different locales around the country that they think of as part of the larger fabric of college football. You know, Stanford was mentioned. I've been to that campus. I've walked through the halls at Stanford. It's an amazing place. Get a chance to go visit Palo Alto, it'd be incredible for Florida State to do a home and home with Stanford. Incredible. I've been up to Ann Arbor. I've gone to Columbus. Tom, I know you've gone to a game in Austin. Notre Dame this year. I've been up to Notre Dame. But you think about these places and, you have in your mind so many memories of watching those teams play in big moments and their best players, the history of that program and its fans and key moments in time. And that's what you get when you get a home and home. So I get excited when I hear about an opportunity to play Southern Cal, whom we've played before with a home and home. We won both games against Southern Cal way back when I was in school. But, yeah, I mean, that's gone on. The opportunity to play UCLA right there in L.A. I've walked the campus at UCLA, did that with my wife. We walked all around that neighborhood where a lot of the professors live and a lot of the doctors live, world-renowned hospital there. Yeah, please sign me up. Let's go.
I think what this does, and, short of an outright replacement with a USC or UCLA, I think this helps solidify that the Boise game's going to happen, the road trip.
I think that's absolutely correct. That is actually mentioned, too, in the story.
Is it?
Yeah, no, you're right to say it. It doesn't say this solidifies that. But what's mentioned in that story is FSU already has one trip out west scheduled for the 2020 season when the Noles go to Boise State. More could be on the way. That's how it kind of starts.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question here that this is Willie Taggart's influence because he wants to continue the pipeline on the West Coast. And so he wants to expose the West Coast, if he can, to Florida State football. The West Coast Noles thing works for him. He's got ties out there now that it was only 1 year, but he spent it out at Oregon.
By the way, Oregon's on the sort of on the tips of the tongue of so many Florida State fans I saw today responding to this speculation about us scheduling a West Coast team home and home. Well, I'll tell you what, you and I have wanted to play Oregon, not just post-blowout game out there in the Rose Bowl, but just because I've wanted to step foot in that stadium. I've wanted to see that campus. I wanted to visit something completely foreign to the state of Florida, and that would be Oregon.
Well, I've never been to the Pacific Northwest personally, and yes, that's a goal of mine.
Sure.
I would hope to achieve this goal.
But then all the more intrigue that he coached there for a year, and,
Sure. We should have Oregon in September and then A&M in October, and there we go. Now we got ourselves a reunion tour.
Let's get them all together here. Line it up. A lot of Florida State fans have waited and said, nope, no interest in the West Coast, Jeff. How about Texas? We've never played Texas. Why don't we play Texas in Austin?
I'd love to go back there. What a city.
Well, I'm fine with going to Austin. Austin's great, but Texas.
See, I don't give a damn about the Texas part of it. I just want to go back to Austin.
It's amazing. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with
Folks.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Service from my friends at Wash Around the Clock. Oh, buddy, this is a game changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with Easy Laundry Service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's Easy Laundry Service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Spurs are talking with several teams, including the Lakers and the Celtics, about trading forward Kawhi Leonard.
The Lakers have enough to cobble together. We reported yesterday, too, that they've been on the market trying to find another first-round pick that they could include in any potential trade package. And that would certainly make a deal more attractive. And the way they could get a first-round pick is to take some money into their salary cap, take a bad contract from another team, somebody who's trying to get money off, and they'll have to attach a draft pick to it. So they've had some of those conversations.
The Spurs also still have hope they can keep Leonard, even though the relationship has gone sour. It's official now. Buccaneers quarterback Jameis Winston gets a 3-game suspension for violating the league's personal conduct policy. Winston allegedly groped a female Uber driver. And college baseball will have a champion tonight in Omaha. Game 3 of the College World Series Finals for Arkansas and Oregon State. It's at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do miss something, go back, get caught up. All 3 hours to be posted upon the conclusion of the program, both to iTunes and in our own audio vault. You can always email the program if you like. It's JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. On Twitter, it's at JCameron Show. It's also at 979 ESPN Radio. If you want to watch the show being Periscope, you can watch it on YouTube as well. Type in ESPN Tallahassee. Hello, YouTubers. You can email the show. I think I said that, JCS at 979 ESPNradio.com. And, oh, by the way, WTSM app is good for your mobile devices. So get the WTSM app so that you don't ever have to be anywhere without us. That's right. You got us right there. Just click, click. Blip, 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 blip. It's beautiful. So, my man, you saw the fight? I don't like to get all down and dirty like this with guys fighting at a camp. But given that I just got done talking about him yesterday and how much I like the latest offensive line commitments that we've had verbally say yes to Florida State recently, I'm pleased. We've got a guy I think that is pretty evil. Where is that fight? I'm looking for it, Tom.
It's on War Chant's Twitter feed.
Yeah.
And yesterday it was
Aslan's got it, right?
It was the kid I called Christian Meadows, who was
but it was Dante Lucas.
Dante Lucas, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Dante Lucas has been front and center today because after we got a commitment from a defensive end, Dante decided to walk up and say, "Hey, how about a photo op? Couple of Knowles, let's enjoy the moment.
Let's do it."
But also, when it got to one-on-one drills, there were reports before this video came out that Dante was doing some things, and he is a mean player. It matches the photography that you cited yesterday.
Alabama commit Rashad Cheney got upset with Dante Lucas for beating his ass, dominating him in the drill, and he decided to throw punches at the vastly superior Dante Lucas, who handled matters and then was escorted away. That's what we do. We get commitments from guys that are manhandling Alabama commitments.
Looks like he got a shot in, too. There's an initial couple of haymakers that this Alabama commit throws. And then they get within arm's reach of each other, and it looks like there's a couple of quick ones that Dante maybe gets in before the two are separated.
Little shots there?
Yes.
Well, I like the meanness that I see from Dante Lucas. He strikes me as a man that is coming here to do damage. And I've said before that the combination of Mr. Lucas and True Thompson is enough to have me very, very excited. True Thompson, I should say, yes.
All right, that's a big hand.
Yes. All right. Can we get to college football already? We're getting close. It's starting to be that little things here and there on a daily basis require our attention. ACC meetings, we got to send off the I will be there for the interviews.
The old RSV pizzle.
In Charlotte. Got me. That's true. That's true, we do. We lead today with not good news. Jameis Winston has been suspended by the National Football League for 3 games, and what appeared in the beginning to be somewhat a clarified situation, I think, has led to only more question marks as you find out that This is a deal. When we originally came on, we gave you the NFL's statement, and I'll do that again here in a second, along with Jameis's statement and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers statement. But it should be noted that it appears this was all done after a result of a settlement talk between the NFL, the NFLPA, and representatives for the Bucs and Jameis Winston, and that was in order to avoid an appeal. So Roger Goodell and his group working a deal with the NFLPA and Jameis Winston's camp saying, all right, look, we're going to give you 3 games because we find her story credible. We don't have physical evidence. There are no charges. But here's the deal. It's 3 games because we don't think she's lying. We think that she's, at the very least, we think she's a credible witness.
Right. And yes, we don't want this to drag on.
And Winston, while not admitting guilt, says, sorry, I put you in a unfortunate position or whatever he said. I'm paraphrasing. But doesn't, and then says he's disappointed in the NFL's findings or suspension, but really doesn't say much else other than he's going to be more responsible. He's removed alcohol from his life, and he's got a greater responsibility to his community, his teammates, and himself and his family. All of that has led to a lot of us saying, all right, so who did what here? What does the NFL know? What do they not know? Jameis, did you or did you not touch this girl inappropriately? And what are the Bucs going to do? I mean, it's just kind of, that is a really simplified version of a lot of what we've been talking about today.
Yes, that's where we are. And as you said, this deal, this arrangement is essentially an appeal and a ruling before an appeal, if you want to get to the blood and guts of it.
Yeah, and the special counsel for the NFL, they look at the counsel for the conduct. That was Todd Jones's group, and they said, look, we're going to advise that he be suspended. I don't know what the original projection of what it was they thought should take place here, what Todd Jones came back to Goodell with.
Well, what I can say is if you look at the Zeke case, that's 6 games, right? And most people, if you look at the general conversation, the national conversation, they say, oh, so we got it reduced from 6 to 3. It is worth noting that Adam Schefter last week said it was going to be 4 and it was shaved down to 3. So you've got competing thoughts out there, but Schefter did go with it, and that was Friday morning, I think it was 10 o'clock, that he filed a video report that said that the NFL's thinking was 4, and they shaved it down 1 game to 3 to avoid this being dragged out. The Winston camp didn't want it to be dragged out. Monetary reasons might be playing a factor in there. That was Schefter's speculation. The league certainly doesn't want this to be part of the news cycle for months on end, the way the Zeke case was, the way the Tom Brady case was. And also from Winston's perspective, Brady and Zeke went 0 for 2. So why would you even do this? Because you're not going to end up winning it. All you're going to end up doing is putting your name back in the news cycle, and the courts are clear on this.
But what
you're not going to win an appeal.
Right, but what it doesn't do is answer a very important question for everybody who would like to get to the truth, would like to get to the bottom of this matter, which is, did you do it or not?
You're damn right, yes.
And we don't know. We don't know because he doesn't admit to it in his statement. The league has not provided for anybody the evidence that they're going on, only that they conducted an investigation and believed her to be credible. There are no criminal charges. There is no sworn affidavit. There is no police report. So you're left with a lot of questions. And, I mean, I get it from both sides. I get the camp that says, I think we should just move on from this guy. There's just too much smoke. There's got to be some fire. I just don't like it. I mean, I hear people say that, reasonable people say that, and I go, well, I'd like to know what happened. Because I can really go in either way here. I can certainly paint a picture that is incredibly damning for Winston. And I can do the same for the league, which has proven itself to be at times outright incompetent and, if not incompetent, nefarious in their actions. So it's not good. It's a PR nightmare. There's no doubt about that. I should note, as part of the condition to the agreement, Winston has to go through an evaluation process and cooperate with treatment. And if he doesn't, in terms of being asked to get a therapeutic intervention or evaluation, if he doesn't do those things, then he can be suspended longer, if not kicked out of the league.
Right. The NFL in its statement says a lot of things. It's throwing a lot of barbs. In addition to the 3-game suspension, it's claiming that
the driver's account of the incident was consistent and credible.
Right.
That's the most damning thing that's in that statement.
And it's claiming that they believe there's an instability in his life, be it substance-based or otherwise, because they want a full clinical evaluation.
Which is probably why, in Winston's sort of jumbled and clumsy statement that was released from his camp that he mentions that he hasn't had anything to drink or that alcohol has been removed from his life in the last 2.5 years. I don't know. But my guessing is that's what led to them including that. It's really a mess of a statement.
Time and place, man.
Yeah.
I mean, well, and that's one thing that is unequivocally true to this point. Time and place has never, ever been his strongest suit.
Well, and I would maintain that if you have his best interest in mind, man, he's got to get a better team around him. I just don't think they do him any favors.
He doesn't do himself favors either.
No,
and that's saying nothing about Kinsman or Uber or whatever. You know, the other situations and circumstances. Jimbo looking to the sky says it all about, you know, come on. Yeah. Are you got to help me help you?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what that statement was today. The blood and guts of that are oof.
Well, at the end of the day, too, no matter where you fall on this, whether or not you think he did it, didn't do it, speculative or not, wherever you are with that, I would like the NFL to get its act together. Can we please have a uniformity to how we go about disciplining players? Is there a standard? Is there, and this is for any team, any player, I'm not specific to Winston here, I'm just saying we have seen sort of a willy-nilly, flighty sort of way of doing business on serious matters.
Short of it being negotiated in the CBA, the only way that happens is if they wanted to.
I really think they could adopt the college model. Like, they could really help themselves out here, where you just take it out of teams' hands, you take it out of your hands. You're not an arm of the law. I mean, that's not what you do. It's like we've talked about the Title IX stuff, where you're asking athletic departments to conduct investigations.
Yes.
Never mind the dollars that would take, but also they're not equipped to do this. They're not investigators. Not what they do. If the NFL wanted to make it easy on themselves, where you don't get into sort of the gray areas, you could just say, well, this is what we do here. This is unless there's concrete video evidence of a situation where we can use our own eyes and we can show this video, like in the Ray Rice case, where maybe that would have never come out. Maybe law enforcement would have never been called onto the scene and Ray Rice would have never been arrested. But we have video of you punching a woman.
Yeah.
So unless we have something like that, physical, concrete evidence that you are guilty, even though there's been no law enforcement involved, if we don't have that, so short of that, we're going to rely on law enforcement. If there's a charge, then you can't play until the case is resolved. If it's a felony charge, you can't play. You know, that's what they do at Florida State. If it's a felony charge,
right,
Willie Taggart has no say in the matter. Jimbo Fisher has no say in the matter. It's a felony. Got to sit back and let the law run its course, right? Let the legal process run its course.
Yeah.
And if it's a misdemeanor, you have certain standards in play, whatever those are agreed to. Maybe it's organization by organization. Some places, a misdemeanor could be any kind of a jaywalking, whatever it is. I don't know. It's not a misdemeanor, I don't think. But, whatever a misdemeanor charge is, if you deem it to be relatively insignificant, well, then you're running stadium steps all day after practice.
Yeah, possession under a certain amount.
And if it's a more serious to you as a head coach or organization or pro, then maybe the suspension is a couple of games. I don't know. But if you do it by the law, then you have a concrete set of rules in place by which you use as a guiding force for implementation of a suspension, and nobody has to be left to guess what's going on here.
Yeah, the hard part here is today the NFL is saying that we believe her story to be consistent and credible, and we have evidence that points to that end. And I'll tell you what it is. They tell you the nature of the evidence, that it includes electronic communications, cell phone data, Uber account, I guess, receipts, interviews, all those types of things. And then Winston says, I'm sorry for making the driver uncomfortable. So neither side walks you over the line. They take you up to the line, and then they stop short.
You know what's interesting? I'm rereading the league's comments on what they used in their investigation. So they talk about when it was first reported, and they go back to 2016. And then also it was publicly reported again last November. And they note that the league had promptly initiated a comprehensive investigation. And during that investigation, they conducted interviews with Winston and the driver and others that were relevant with information. They don't say who that is. They don't say were those people at the party, other people in the Uber.
Right. Presumably it would be, if you're going by her timeline of events, the people who made her aware that Jameis was going to be sitting in the car and helped escort him to the car, that kind of thing?
I guess. Yeah. They don't say. They just say that they would be relevant to the investigation. And so that they got information from those people. And they examined telephone records, business records, and data from electronic devices. So my guess is they're going to examine the phones. Maybe that's it. I mean, what other hers, his?
Darby's.
What else?
Maybe the convicted gang rapist that wanted to weigh in through his lawyer last Friday?
Maybe. Maybe he's got nothing to do with nothing.
Well, if he's the third person in the car.
Maybe he's never in the car. I mean, we don't know.
Right.
We just don't know. We have no idea. I don't know if they talked to him or not. Maybe that dude's a wahoo. Who knows? That came out of left field. Nobody knows where the hell that came from. But then from there you have, and based on that investigation, they believed he violated the NFL's code of conduct policy. I'd like to know the concrete evidence that they found that they're using. Maybe they got a ton of it, and maybe they'll announce it, and that will clarify everything. Maybe they don't, and we'll all be sitting here 3 weeks from now, just as we have been the last 3 weeks, going, I don't know, man. I don't know what they have and what they don't have. I know what he says he didn't do, and I know what she says he did do, and I know the league said, well, we investigated 3 games. It's a mess.
Do you believe they have it in them to bluff there?
Yes.
I don't know that an investigator would. I think Goodell would, but I don't know that. I don't know that Todd Jones, investigator who presumably has a legal background, would bluff on a statement such as this. If you're trying to argue that they don't have anything except a really bad PR situation.
I'm not saying they don't have anything or they do. I'm saying I don't know what they have. I don't know what concrete evidence they have and don't have because they don't tell us.
But the other thing that's curious, to go back to last week, and this was Thursday night, a week ago, and it was Garofalo saying that they have, and that's NFL Network's Mike Garofalo, saying that they have proof, the NFL does, that there were multiple stops on the Uber ride in question and that people got in and out of the car.
Right. Would that be a statement leaked from the league?
To me, that would be a statement that I don't know that they wanted out, because everything else was locked down after that. Think about the timeline.
They never verified it either. The league never came out and said that's true. The league never said that they have that. That's not even in this statement.
But what's crazy is, okay, so he works for NFL Network. He's an NFL Network insider.
But nobody else, by the way, who regularly reports on the NFL had that.
Right.
Not one other person. Not Schefter, not Ian Rappaport, nobody.
But that's what's interesting here is, so Schefter confirms your report about up to 3 games. It will be 3 games. Then Rappaport follows right behind, confirms the report. He says he's not so sure on the amount of games, but certainly he's going to be suspended. Correct reporting on your part. Then Garofalo comes out an hour and a half later and drops that bomb.
Which kind of went quietly because, A, not a lot of people know him and follow him, and he's not in the business of that.
But it wasn't just a tweet. He was on NFL's TV program.
Yeah, he was saying it.
Right.
But nobody ever circled back and said that that was confirmed or true or anything.
And then it went silent until today.
It was never said again, was it?
Nothing. No, exactly.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Again, I thought that was curious.
But to me, what that means, if I'm guessing, just guessing, is the NFL had an agreement with the Winston camp through the PA that said, we're not going to talk about the specifics. And then that was leaked, and so that the PA side, Winston side, came back and said, I thought the specifics weren't going to be determined. You guys leaking things to the press? Let's revisit our discussion here on how severe the punishment is and everything that everybody has to do.
And that was the holdup?
That's my guess. My best theory.
Yeah. Well, all we're left to do is speculating. I mean, listen, one thing we do know is he's been suspended 3 games, and it's a terrible look. And I can see where people would have their doubts about moving forward with Jameis Winston. Period. I mean, I understand that.
Yes, he looks guilty.
Yeah.
He looks guilty.
Yeah. But we also know that the way the league operates and the fact that there isn't a police report and that this is 2 years old and he never owns that he did any of this and says that he didn't, I don't know what to...
I hear you.
No, I mean, we have to be very careful.
Sure. I'm allowing for that possibility. This is me personally, not...
Well, I think the thing here, why you hear such reticence in my voice as to why I'm not all in on the screw this guy. We've watched that league bungle everything under the sun and lie and do so many unethical things as to be called into question around every turn by its most prominent members The most powerful owners, most powerful players in the league have alleged that league leaks, makes things up, operates like it's the wild, wild west. And these are people who don't have reputation issues. So, I'm apt to believe them. I mean, go all the way back to when they covered for your boy in New England with the videotapes. They destroyed the evidence.
Yeah, Spygate. Yeah.
They destroyed evidence.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm allowing for it. All I'm saying is this would, with that being its history, and you want to do it again and bluff here for the sake of a 3-game suspension?
But they've done it over and over and over again. And just when I think they've learned their previous lesson, because how could they not?
Yeah.
They do something where you go, what? They did that? I mean, the Zeke Elliott thing just happened. And, you go all the way back. We've been talking about the Ray Rice thing today. They hid evidence of a man beating a woman that they had concrete evidence. They were aware of it, still went forward with a suspension of 2 games or whatever it was going to be. The tape gets leaked, and they go, oh, my God, we didn't know about the tape. Well, what?
To me, they don't have to go out of their way to report specifics here or to issue a statement with specifics saying that they believe her story and with the sentence that she was inappropriately sexually touched.
Well, but you do.
They don't have to do that. They can say NFL player conduct policy. People would call them cowards, and the news cycle two days later, people would forget.
But when you levy a suspension, you have to have come at it from an angle that you believe it's warranted, and then you have to release a statement that would suggest that that's what they came to, a conclusion that it's warranted. And how are you going to do that other than to at least sprinkle in a few nefarious details?
Logic would say yes.
I mean, you can't, when those reports are being written, they're being written in a way that allows them to then suspend the player.
I 100% agree with you, but in the Zeke Elliott case, they don't have that, and yet they suspend him for 6.
Well, I actually think that they probably had way more. I think they wanted him gone for the year. I mean, that case is a really jumbled mess. You've got 5 accusations of domestic violence. You've got pictures with bruises and all of this. You're talking about physical evidence.
Yeah, I hear you, but in that case, the investigator recommended nothing. In this case, their release today, it hinges on the findings of the investigator. They name him, and they say that he concluded, after considering all the – I mean, he is the whole case they're making, is their investigator, which is the exact opposite of the Zeke Elliott case. Well, their investigator says no.
Let me clarify this, because this could get interesting, and we haven't really talked about this at all. Jameis Winston of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was notified today by the NFL Special Counsel for Conduct, Todd Jones, that he's been suspended without pay by the Bucs for the first 3 games. I don't know if Todd Jones did the investigation. He's the representative of the Special Counsel. So I don't know what I don't know if he did the investigation.
Let me read the thing real quick.
I mean, that's what I don't know. I'll tell you what I do know, Tom Lang. I got a comfortable pillow.
Oh,
it's my pillow.
We'll go in there.
My pillow, buddy. Go ahead, read away while I tell the fine folks out there that while we're not caught up in this investigation in any way, shape, or form, we're sleeping comfortably at night. That's right, on a My Pillow, because it's comfortable. And it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Try it, don't like it, return it. That's okay. They know you won't do that. 10-year warranty to boot. Made right here in the USA, and it's machine washable and dryable. I got one. I sleep on it every night. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, enter the promo code 979ESPN. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows for one low price, plus free shipping to boot. A lot of to boots in there today. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the 2-pack special, enter the promo code 979ESPN. Call 800-944-6596 if you'd like to do it that way. That's 800-944-6596. But be sure and use the promo code 979ESPN. Free shipping's a good thing, folks. MyPillow.com.
All right. So the language here is, I can see what you're saying, that he is the middleman.
He's the guy making he's the one who informed Winston.
Where it gets difficult is, in his letter advising Winston of the suspension, Jones stated, after full consideration of the record, including a meeting with Winston and his representatives and in a written submission by his attorneys, the driver's account of the incident was consistent and credible. Forgive me if I have misstated that for 3 hours now, because it reads as though Jones is making the consideration.
Right, but when I reread it, I realized he's not.
He's saying after full consideration of the record, not his own.
Not his own at all.
All right, fine. So we got to find out who the investigator is.
And find out what they have to say, like we did in the Zeke Elliott case.
That may be leaked, perhaps.
Because that person, it was finally known, went on the record and said, hey, this is what I found, and this is what I advised the league, and that person no longer works for the league. That's interesting. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
The price is starting at just $21,965. Note, I said all Rogues, not Summer, $4,000 off. 2018 Versa S's start at an unbelievable $12,960 for a new car. But the true star of summer is the 2018 Altima. All Altimas, and we have over 60 to choose from, are $6,000 off MSRP. That's right, all 2018 Altimas are $6,000 off with prices starting at just $18,970. And as always, all Craft Nissans come with our exclusive free lifetime warranty. So before you head off on your summer vacation, head to Craft Nissan for unbeatable prices. Prices include dealer preparation charge, must finance through NMAC with approved credit, and take delivery from dealer stock.
The 15th annual Kingfish Shootout is quickly approaching, scheduled for August 4th and 5th. With a guaranteed payout of $20,000, Kingfish prizes range from 1st through 10th place, and Spanish mackerel prizes range from 1st through 3rd place. All profits will go to the Leukemia Research Foundation, where over $915,000 has been donated in the past 14 years. To register, view the tournament schedule, or get more info, visit their website, seaquartersmarina.com, or call them at 697-8400.
Hey, Dansbro Swanson, it's me, your favorite credit card. I've noticed about the only time you smile is when you hand me over to that nice ponytailed fella at Metro Deli. I like when you're happy. I think you do too. Let's get back there real soon. Oh yeah, Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com.
Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for tripping out to truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. Bed liners, bed caps, toys to throw your money at. Car stereos, car alarms, things for all you soccer moms. Detail and diamond plate, parts to fix your tailgate. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop for trimming out your truck. Truck and Car Concepts, people with their cars, we're number one by far. Exterior accessories, lift kits for your mud needs. Mud tires, nice wheels, everyone will get a deal. Window tinting, that's a must. Come on out and visit us. Truck and Car Concepts, we're your one-stop shop, we always aim to please. Truck and Car Concepts, everything is here from A to Z.
The Firestone 30-day buy and try guarantee. It's the guarantee that means if you're not satisfied within the first 30 days of your tire purchase, Firestone will refund or replace them. No one is more committed to the quality of their tires than Firestone, and we stand behind everything we put our name on. Because while finding the right tire isn't always easy, choosing the right name should be. Find the right tire for you at your local Firestone retailer. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Limitations and restrictions apply. See FirestoneTire.com for full details.
The Atlanta Braves are having a blast with a great balance of experienced vets and rising young superstars.
High fly to right field. Hit this one very well. That one arcing toward the stands and gone for Ozzie Albies.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey, and by Metro Deli in downtown Tallahassee. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com/Braves. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Go from here.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Let's offset some of this, shall we? Good on you, Marcell Dareus. Marcell Dareus recently traveled to Haiti on a humanitarian mission, and for the second year in a row, he's doing what he can to help the country. A former Alabama defensive lineman, as you all know, currently a member of the Jacksonville Jaguars, donated $125,000. It's a lot of money to help build classrooms throughout Haiti. And the Hope for Haiti program, one that I actually know somebody who does an awful lot with and I'm friends with, that just brings a smile to my face. That's there's so much negative news that we read in the world of sports that when you get this story, you got to make sure you get it out there. The donation made by Dareus, whose father was a native of Haiti, will build a 3-classroom school wing bearing his name. And the release reads as follows. Dareus said he is passionate about the case of helping children from his father's home country. Quote, I'm overwhelmed with appreciation that Hope for Haiti and the Haitian community are welcoming me back with the dedication and construction of a school wing in my name. More importantly, giving back to the Haitian children is important to me because I see myself in them. Meeting the children last time has stuck with me and motivated me to continue to give back and do as much as I can to help and have them receive the best education possible. So per the release, Dareus' generous donation will help pay for that construction, teacher training, teacher salary, subsidies, mobile clinics, and back-to-school support for students. Well done, Marcell Dareus. We can root for you and root for your cause and root for all of those involved in Hope to Haiti and bringing hope to Haiti. That's really good news. That's a good story. This is a funny story, this one that I'm about to read. Police say a 95-year-old Maine man beat a rabid fox to death with a wooden plank.
He is my main man.
Brunswick police say this is the third person to be attacked by a rabid red fox in the past 10 days. They got fox issues up in Maine, Tom. Fox are done dealing. They're done playing around. They're coming for you.
Now is not the time to be sly.
The Times reports, well played, that Robert Galen was working on his deck, no doubt like a man at 95 years of age in Maine, building a deck. 95! You go get it! When he encountered a fox, the fox proceeded to bite Galen on the foot. Damn it, man. Now I got to cut you. He says he picked up a wooden plank in the moment. He saw that fox, quote, looking at me right in the eyes. Galen's got a flair for the dramatic, too. He says it took him about 10 minutes to beat the fox to death. But he admitted to injuring his back while doing so.
It took him 10 minutes to beat. Well, that's the 95 part, isn't it?
Damn it. Damn it! Die! Just die already. Animal control officials tested the animal and found that it did have rabies. Sucks for you, Galen. That's 10 shots in the belly. But I'm guessing if you're the kind of 95-year-old man that's out building a deck and beating foxes to death with your bare hands and a wooden plank, those 10 shots won't mean much.
You know, the best part actually is that the wooden plank is from building the deck. Because you'd say, well, where did he get a wooden plank?
Oh, he's building a deck.
Oh, he's building a deck.
That guy's awesome. I always usually root for animals when we invade their...
Right.
But in this case, it's a rabid fox walking up on my man's deck.
Right. He's looking at him in the eyes
he's
saying,
like, oh.
what's up, man?
Yeah.
I'm about to bite you.
It's got to be a problem for you when a fox rolls up onto the deck, first of all. So you're building at 95. You're alone out in Maine. You're a rugged dude. I'm telling you now, I don't have a picture of this guy, but I'm going to guess if he's living in Brunswick, Maine at 95 and he's building a deck in the summer, dude's tough.
He's still got some grip strength.
Yeah,
does he
got
not?
Old man strength. He's seen some things, Tom Lang. He's been around, He was probably in the Pacific. He's seen some things. So there he is. And the next thing you know, he turns around and there's a fox just looking at him. Right
I've had to beat.
Yeah, he said
a fox is nothing.
Yeah. He turned around and confronted that fox. That fox looked at him, and they both knew only one of us is getting out of here. He calmly reached for the plank. Oh, you want a piece of this, do you? Fox said yes, bit him. Right off the bat, Fox said, oh, I'm coming for it.
Affirmative.
Here you go. I'm going to bite your foot. What you think about that? Here's a little bite. I just bit you. What you going to do, old man? And the old man said, I'm going to beat your ass to death. That's what I'm going to do with this wooden plank. Just like I did in Nam, just like I did in World War II. I've been steady beating the life out of a lot of things. And today it's you, Mr. Fox. And his name is Galen. Yes, of course it is.
You think you're going to get the best of me?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no.
Mm-hmm. So that fox, one could argue, was an awful lot like Sherman. Richard Sherman. Not General. Oh. Richard Sherman. And
it's like, are you sure you got the right general?
No. That fox,
Custer,
was a lot like Richard Sherman. And the man is much like our boy, telling him exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, Trent Williams.
Hey, what you going to do, boy? I'm punching your... Hey, do it then, boy.
And there we go. The Fox and Galen right there on the deck.
Hey, what you gonna do, boy? I'm punching your... Hey, do it then, boy.
Still my favorite. Anytime we can work it into a show, Tom Lang. Anytime.
This week has included that and the Magic Johnson clip. Declare victory, sir.
What a good week. How about we conclude the segment by going back to back? I want a little of that, followed by Magic Johnson, followed by music taking us to break. You got those kind of skills?
I do have those kind of skills. Just give me one moment. I was reading something.
You want to make sure that it's all aligned and ready to go because we got everything we need there. Anyhow, good on you, Galen. It took him 10 minutes to beat that fox to death, and we're not normally in the habit of celebrating a fox being beaten to death by anybody, but it's a rabid fox that bit the man on the foot. He's 95 years old. He knew enough to grab the plank and make it happen. And make it happen he did. Not the first time we've had a story like this.
It's that time.
Cue it.
Hey, what you gonna do, boy? I'm punching your... Hey, do it then, boy.
Tell me again, Magic Johnson. Why are we here?
The Lakers are supposed to win this thing.
Ah, yes, I remember. Do you see that map, Magic Johnson?
No.
Let us talk together now, as men. Well, Magic Johnson. Talk.
The Lakers embarrass themselves, the organization, and the Laker fans.
Ah, yes. Now embrace me as my son.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Wahoo Seafood Grill, Tallahassee's leader in fresh seafood, is located right behind the Best Western on North Monroe. Lunch specials start at $7.99. Be sure to try their award-winning house-made burger. Big lunch parties are also welcome. Wahoo Seafood Grill makes lunch specials a very affordable choice. Delivery is available and plenty of parking. Wahoo Seafood Grill, easy access from any part of town using I-10. Visit them online at wahooseafoodgrill.com or call them today at 850-629-4059.
I'm Michael Blank, attorney with the law office of Jose Fernandez. If you've been in an accident, I know this can be a scary and confusing time. Our firm specializes in handling all types of accident and injury cases. Let us guide you through the process and get you the compensation you deserve. Call 855-HOSE-305 to make an appointment for your free consultation today. If you can't come to us, we can come to you, day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, the law office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid unless you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. Se habla español. JRFinjury.com.
I'm the manager of tire sales at Firestone Complete Auto Care. I got my driver's license when I was 17. Back of my truck started fishtailing. That's the reason why you want good tires. They need to be able to cut through that water so that you don't lose control. My name is Gary, and I'm proud to keep your car running newer, longer.
Come get our best deal on Firestone tires this summer. Check driveafirestone.com or your local Firestone Complete Auto Care for more details. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
On the evening of June the 24th, the small town of East Point, Florida in Franklin County suffered a devastating loss. Dozens of homes have been reduced to ash due to a widespread fire, and already an estimated 200 people have been displaced. Many have lost everything they own and are without necessary insurance. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office has issued a notice of several ways the Big Bend and surrounding areas can help those in need. The FCSO has set up and is administering an official GoFundMe page with the express intent of helping local victims. To donate, you can access the fund at GoFundMe.com and by searching East Point Fire Victim Relief Fund. Additionally, any clothes and supplies you wish to donate can be dropped off at the East Point Firehouse. Once again, to donate to those affected in East Point, head to GoFundMe.com and search East Point Fire Victim Relief Fund.
Come into Lowe's for outstanding appliance deals for July 4th and beyond. Find the perfect suite for your kitchen or give Laundry Day a major upgrade. You'll get up to 40% off appliance special values on some of the best brands in the business, like Samsung, Whirlpool, GE, and Frigidaire. And you'll see why nobody beats our prices on appliances. All projects have a starting point. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid through 7/11. Exclusions apply. See store for details.
Football season is right around the corner, so round up your fantasy football leagues and come out to Hooters. Hooters will be hosting fantasy football draft parties starting on June 16th. There will be draft kits available for use with coupons inside. If interested, register on the Hooters website at Hooters.com. Don't miss the opportunity for the draft of a lifetime at Hooters Tallahassee, located at 2000 North Monroe Street, Tallahassee, Florida, 385-2004. Remember, no great stories started over breadsticks.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This Day in Sports History.
June 20th, 1971. Exactly 3 months and 20 days after losing a unanimous decision to Smokin' Joe Frazier in the biggest fight in the ring, Muhammad Ali won a unanimous decision from the Supreme Court to overturn his conviction on charges of draft evasion, which stripped him of his world championship in the prime of his career.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
It up, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Soccer guys tonight? Is that what we got?
That is correct.
No shortage of things to talk about for the soccer guys. They must be in heaven.
I would think so, right? Because it's, the World Cup may be devoid of the American team, but it's not devoid of intrigue. There's been a lot of coming down to literally the final minutes, stoppage time across all groups.
Yeah, there's been, as you said, no shortage of drama, plenty of moments to stand on edge. I only wish that my secondary team had also made the World Cup at all. I had neither.
I got one left, and that would be Switzerland, and they play Sweden over the weekend.
Just two lovely fan bases there. I imagine just beautiful people hugging all the while.
Well, yeah.
Hey, you look like me. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. They're just standing around pointing at each other. It's the Spider-Man thing.
Even though we're in very different parts of the world, it would seem that demographically speaking, there are some similarities here.
Very, very similar.
Yeah.
Switzerland, Sweden. Yeah, it should be fun. Let's do probables. Here we go. Fire it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Wow, wow. Not much tonight, by the way, because a lot of day games occurred. Should be noted. Nats, Phillies, Tanner Roark, Aaron Nola. Come on, Nola. Get it done, damn it. Stros, Rays, Lance McCullers Jr., Ryan Stanek. He's not allowed a run in his last 10 appearances, 5 starts since the beginning of June. Opponents are batting .095. Did you know this about Ryan Stanek?
No, I didn't know that Ryan Stanek was a person.
Not only is he a person, he's a dominant pitcher for the Rays. I mean, I had a suspicion that you were not the only one who didn't know about Ryan Stanek being, really good. 14 of his last 15 appearances. And he's, again, it's weird. He's, quote, starts. He's not really kind of a starter. He's a relief pitcher, sort of, slash. You know how the Rays are doing their thing? Mm-hmm. But nobody can hit him. He's just dominant. People are hitting .090. They're 4 for 42.
Oh, my.
They can't hit him. Angels, Red Sox, Jaime Barria, Brian Johnson. We've got Brewers, Reds, Junior Guerrera, and Anthony DeScalfini. That's it. That's all for those that shall reside on the bump.
Then softer than a piper man.
So it should be noted tonight, soccer guys, tomorrow morning, if you're up early, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., I'll be on nationally on ESPNU, Sirius XM 84, filling in for Taylor Zarzer and Greg McElroy. If you guys want to call in, make it happen, go ahead, do it. Always good to hear a familiar voice or at least get a call from people who I know or of the family, of this family, this one right here, because this can carry a national show. You guys, let's do that.
I'll talk to you then.
Just weigh in on whatever it is. Yeah, I'll talk to you then. I'll talk to you locally. I don't need to talk to you. Nationally, come on, baby. Let's join the big party.
What's up, Jeff? I'm at Killearn.
Absolutely you are.
I'm playing golf at Killearn Country Club.
Yeah.
I'll be stopping by Bumpers on the way to the corner pocket later in the day.
There we go. In your Nissan.
Yeah, that's right.
Craft Nissan.
Fully loaded.
Nicely done, sir. Welcome to the show. You're on First Take. No, it's not First Take. It's first word.
I hope it's not First Take.
No, I don't think I'm on First Take tomorrow. That would be odd.
That would be odd.
Stephen A., how are you? Let's debate this. Let's talk about Magic Johnson. Go. No, I'm on the first team. I'm filling in on the first team for those gentlemen.
Stephen A., how many celebrities do you know and consider friends?
Go. And then we'll yell at each other, even though that's not a subject matter worth yelling about. Go. I don't have many. You're going to beat me on this, Stephen A. I have a suspicion.
Ringo Starr is the best Beatle.
That would be good. And not a take you hear all that frequently. Well done, Stephen A. My turn. I'll be Will Kane for a second. So that's tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am, you know what I am endeavoring to do? Because they ask you if you have any special guests you'd like to have on. And so you can ask. You may not get them. Everybody's on vacation right about now. But I asked for Brom from Purdue. I took advantage of my situation.
Really? There you go.
I wanted to prop up Purdue. I can't get him. So maybe I'll ask for Wyoming's coach. Anybody else you want on there? Who's that side team you like? Houston? Ooh. You want Houston's head coach on?
No, but if you could get Ed Oliver, their all-everything defensive lineman who's going to go top 3 in the draft, that would be an interesting story.
That would be an interesting story. And whether or not he's angry that he committed there and that his guy rode out to Texas.
Right. Yes.
There's your storyline. I'm sure I could find. Well, you know, there's still time in the evening, Tom. I'll ask for Ed Oliver.
Because it's Applewhite that's their coach, right?
He is the one now, right?
He hasn't gotten fired, has he?
Or did he take over at UCF?
Did he?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll see. Now, we know the carousel and the Power 5, so they're not the group of 5.
Not the group of 5. We're wayward here. Anyhow, I'll ask. You guys can send in your request this evening. I'll see if I can get them to track them down, and we'll put them on the
How about Jimbo?
Team. I'm not going to go that route.
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
He would come on. He would talk A&M
hey,
football.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
He would. And we would probably have a very cordial give and take. That would be great. Maybe I'll ask for Willie Taggart.
How was that first paycheck, Coach?
Did you get another horse? Did you expand the ranch? What about a badge? Did you get a new badge? Can you send me a badge with my name on it? And a picture of the dog?
Can I get some boots?
That'd be awesome. But if I get boots, I want them to say Jimbo. I want to wear the boots that say Jimbo. Send me your old ones, Coach. I know my feet are much bigger than yours, but I'll find a way. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. Soccer Guys up next. Stay tuned.